Good morning, everyone. This is the ninth hearing, hopefully the final hearing on the matter of drugs. We're happy that we have the Secretary of Justice here present. Welcome, Mr. Secretary. And I would like to ask Senator Lacson, welcome, good morning. I'd like to ask the Secretary to read if there is anybody here who needs to be sworn in again, or sworn in.
Thank you.
Sworn in.
Those who are here for the first time, could you please stand and raise your right hand? Or do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take.
For the record, may I have the names of the gentleman over here on the left? Arnel Alcaraz, is it?
I'm Attorney Arnel C. Alcaraz, sir,
And,
from BOC, Bureau of Customs, sir.
Bureau of Customs. What is your position there?
I'm Collector of Customs 5, and I serve as OIC of the enforcement group from August to November 2016.
Thank you. The others, please. We know Secretary Aguirre, you don't have to stand up. The others? Is it from the BIR?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I'm
The Commissioner himself.
Cesar Dulay, Commissioner.
Thank you and
of the
welcome. We're happy to have you here, Commissioner.
Thank you.
We need you here very badly. And who else?
Mr. Chair, Undersecretary Eric Balmes from the Department of Justice.
Thank you. And there's another gentleman there. Please don't wait to be called.
My name is Arnel Gubalia from the BIR. I am the Regional Director of Manila.
Arnel
Gubalia, sir.
Gubalia.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let the record state that the gentlemen who stood up, including the Secretary of Justice, have now been properly sworn in. We shall now proceed, and so that we will not waste the time of the Honorable Secretary of Justice and the Commissioner of the BIR. I'd like to proceed with the Commissioner of Justice with the permission of Senator Lacson, unless you have questions. Mr. Secretary, I read in the papers finally today that after 4 grueling months, we're finally investigating the case. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. This is, however, we are aware that the NBI has started filing the case in connection with the smuggling, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, on several occasions in past hearings, I have precisely accosted the NBI, and I see him nodding, as well as the PIDEA on the matter of filing the case, because we have had enough already in terms of being able to file the case, particularly on the matter of drugs, which is mala prohibita, as you know, as well as the importation of drugs and the bribery that has occurred. Of course, it will be up to you to determine which witnesses you may want to utilize, who is not the most guilty, but that is your prerogative, and this Congress has no say on that matter. It is completely a judicial matter, an executive matter. And having said that, Mr. Secretary, what is the status of the case now?
First of all, Your Honor, good morning again. Good morning, Senator Ping Lacson.
Can we have some order, please? I would like to request everybody to refrain from talking because we're rather sensitive here. We'd like to listen. And in the meantime, I'd like to recognize the presence of Senator Aquino. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Senator
Go ahead,
Bam
sir.
Aquino. Your Honor, we have invited our department invited this morning one of our state prosecutors who's investigating the case, and to whom this case was referred to. He is Assistant State Prosecutor Aristal Reyes. May we refer to him, Your Honor, to answer your question about the status of these cases?
Yes, please. Will you please come forward? Have you been properly sworn in? I understand the Secretary is busy with so many cases. We've tried to give leeway, but certainly 4 months is just too much, especially for the Bureau of Customs, who learned about this right away and should have filed the case right away the moment this is done. But it has taken us 4 months, and it has taken the Senate of this country to get everybody to file their cases. Will you please stand up? Eric Balmes, is it?
State Prosecutor Aristotel Reyes, Your Honor.
Can you please speak up louder?
Assistant State Prosecutor Aristotel Reyes, Your Honor.
Aristotle Reyes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you please raise your right hand?
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, I do.
Please sit down. There's another one. Mr. Barte, could you please stand up and introduce yourself? What is your name?
Sir, I am Segundo Sigmund Freud Barte.
Sigmund Freud Barte. Use the microphone.
Mr. Chair, I am Segundo Sigmund Freud Barte Jr.
All right. You're not the famous psychiatrist, are you?
No, sir.
And what is your position, for the record?
I am Customs Operations Officer 4.
Customs Operations 4. In what department?
Presently, the Deputy Collector for Assessment of the NAIA Collection District, Mr. Chair.
All right. Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
I do.
Thank you. I'm sorry. The other secretary, please. Or the assistant secretary, Aristides, is it?
Prosecutor Aristotel Reyes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Reyes, please proceed and answer the question.
Okay. With respect to this case of importation of dangerous drugs under Section 4 of Republic Act 9165, it was filed by the NBI Anti-Organized Crime Division against Chen Min et al. On August 14, 2017 before the Department of Justice. It was filed through a referral letter. Upon receipt of the docket section of the DOJ, it was referred to the Office of the Anti-Organized Crime Division of the DOJ on August 15. Then on August 23, it was assigned to me for preliminary investigation. On September 4, I already issued a subpoena to all the respondents as well as to the NBI and their witnesses, setting the case for preliminary investigation on September 18. Subpoenas were served personally on September 5, September 6, September 8, and September 12. Subpoenas were issued to all the respondents, namely Chen Min.
Please raise your right hand. Chen Bin. Is that Richard Chen?
He is not around.
No. He's not around. He's still wanted, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Another is against Chu Min Jung.
He's not around.
Yes.
He's Taiwanese, right?
Yes, sir.
While you were there, have we undertaken any measures to go? I personally talked to the director of the TECO, or Taiwan Economic Cultural Office here, to find out whether they can be arrested in Taiwan. We have their passports. What other measures have the Department of Justice taken on this matter, including the NBI and PIDEA?
For me, being the handling prosecutor conducting the preliminary investigation, my mandate is only to proceed.
All right. May I refer the question then to Secretary of Justice, sir? We have an agreement with all these countries, and I understand that we can get these people back if we want to.
Yes, Your Honor, we have the treaty between the Republic of the Philippines and People's Republic of China concerning mutual legal assistance in criminal matters, Your Honor.
But this is a matter, sir, involving Taiwanese personalities. These are the people who are supposed to receive them. And I made contact with DECO, and they promised to cooperate. I wonder if it might be more pressing for the Secretary of Justice or the Department of Justice to do the same thing so that we could put pressure on them to bring these people back to justice. This is a very widespread ring that is operating. I have information to say that this is drugs coming from here, or only part of drugs that were brought also to Japan. So this is a very big ring.
Your Honor, On the part of the Taiwanese, we have no information yet on these Taiwanese people, Your Honor.
Without meaning to offer any affront upon the Secretary, don't we have any budget to show the seriousness of this situation, that we try to go after these people? After all, these people tried to bring in 6.5 billion pesos worth of drugs, along with the previous arrest, and I congratulate the NBI for that. I don't congratulate them for those who have not, they have not yet arrested. Who knows how many people, how many drugs have come in. But nonetheless, since we have something, a bird in the hand here, three birds in the hand here, I was wondering what other matters we can undertake, what other measures we can undertake to go after them.
Your Honor, our NBI has some coordination with some people about this, so may we ask the Deputy Director Jundi Guzman to answer in connection with that.
I will go back to the ASEC later on, but in the meantime, I just want to pursue this point. Director De Guzman?
Good morning, Your Honor. Actually, the NBI together with PIDEA sat down with the State Counsel, Attorney Paras, and I think there is already an ongoing coordination through the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty between the Philippine DOJ and China.
I will go to China later on because the committee is aware, and you are aware, that I spoke with the ambassador of China already. And this is close to the extent upon which we try to go after. I just want to see the kind of enthusiasm that the Blue Ribbon has with the executive department. This is not kosher. We are not going to accept the fact that we are helpless in the hands of practically invasion of criminals in this country, trying to destroy the fabric of our country in terms of our integrity, in terms of the young people here. I want to know, because the Taiwanese are the ones involved here, I want to know what other measures you're going to take to get them back.
Your Honor, please. A team from the NBI already coordinated with TECO.
What about Interpol? Have you coordinated with Interpol? If they gave you the same answer that they gave me, I wonder if I might ask Senator Lacson. I'm sure we can ask Senator Lacson that Interpol would be helping us here as well. The answer is yes, of course. Have we done anything with Interpol?
Your Honor, our Chief of Interpol is here right now. He can talk about the procedures.
Please proceed. Your name, designation in the NBI, we know you, but you have to facilitate for the record.
Morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning.
My name is Ferdinand Levin. I am a Deputy Director of the NBI. I am also the Director for International Operations of the NBI.
Kindly raise your right hand because you have not been sworn, Colonel Levin, Director Levin.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right. Let the record state that you have been properly sworn. Please sit down.
Thank you.
Is there any other effort on your part to go to Interpol?
While we do not have an existing mutual legal assistance treaty or extradition treaty with Taiwan, we have an arrangement, however, with TECO that with the MJIB, the Minister of Justice and Investigation Bureau, under the Office of Attorney Enrique Chen, to extend full and close coordination insofar as the movement, insofar as the identification, insofar as later on.
I don't mean to cut you off. You have all those connections. What is the result?
They are closely monitoring, Your Honor, but for reasons of confidentiality, they are now, this is allowed under their jurisdiction. They are now surveilling on electronic, they placed the persons under electronic surveillance,
Are you
Your Honor.
talking about the Taiwanese here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are they in Taiwan?
They are in China, to my last information.
I pass on that information to the Chinese ambassador.
That's correct, Your Honor. But for reasons of confidentiality, Your Honor, I cannot divulge the identities of
I will accept
these
that,
persons.
but I will accept an executive meeting with you and the senators present if that is possible.
Yes, Your Honor, I can show you the exchange of communication between me and the Minister of Justice and Investigation Bureau, Your Honor.
You may submit that for the eyes of the senators here present under pain of violating confidentiality matters.
Point of clarification, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please, Senator Lacson.
Since the case is still pending with the DOJ, undergoing preliminary investigation, what would be the basis, if at all, to arrest the Chinese national or the Taiwanese national, if I may ask?
I am not very conversant with their bases in Taiwan, but they are closely monitoring the persons, including the conduct of electronic surveillance on these persons, Your Honors.
Kasi kung wala pang warrant of arrest dito, kasi wala pang information na napafile. And we should at least ask the Taiwan counterpart kung meron silang holdings or case filed against the said Taiwanese. If not, then futile din yung effort natin. Assuming that we are able to locate him or the Taiwanese government is able to locate him, anong gagawin nila? Can they arrest him? Baka pwede clarify natin yon. Kung meron silang case or cases filed that could warrant the arrest of the said individual. Di ba?
I will do
baka
that.
Mamaya located na, hindi naman pwedeng hulihin.
I will do that, Your Honor, and clarify the positions of both
But they are
governments.
aware, nonetheless, that
They are very much aware, Your Honor. They are monitoring
activities.
Yes, Your Honor. They are monitoring the proceedings in the Senate and in the House as regards this matter, Your Honor.
And they are also aware that we are looking for them.
Very much aware, Your Honor.
And this makes the investigation of the Secretary of Justice of primordial importance so that we can issue a warrant of arrest for these people. Would you agree, Mr. Assistant Secretary or Secretary of Justice?
That's correct, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, we have to expedite the hearing of this case during preliminary investigation, and the latest on this could be reported, Your Honor, by Assistant State Prosecutor Aristotle Reyes.
Thank you, sir. In the meantime, sir, Mr. David, you are the liaison of the NBI with Interpol. That was why you were called, not about Taiwan, because obviously we're not getting a big bite in Taiwan. What about Interpol?
The Interpol, Your Honor, is now in charge of the coordination with this matter with our foreign counterparts.
What are foreign counterparts?
The
Chinese and the Taiwanese.
The Chinese and the Taiwanese, Your Honor, but...
And perhaps the Japanese. And perhaps any other country that is involved in this drug operation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And having said that, they're also in touch with you, aren't they?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, are there any reports to be made? If they are of a confidential nature, you may do so when we call you later in an executive meeting amongst us.
Yes, Your Honor.
So they're confidential?
Very confidential, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Let me now go back to Assistant Secretary Reyes. Please proceed. Post haste.
The latest status, Your Honor. Yesterday we conducted the preliminary investigation.
You were talking about the people that you have already charged.
Yes, Your Honor. Subpoenas were sent, as I'm saying a while ago, to the following. Third person subpoenaed is Fidel Anoche D, the warehouseman who was arrested during that.
I'm aware of that.
Yes. And another is to Chen Lu Jong, also known as Richard Tan.
Yes.
And Lu Li Guang Feng, also known as Manny Lee. Then Dong Yi Shen, also known as Kenneth Dong. Irene May Tatad, Mark Ruben Taguba II, and TJ.A. Marceliana.
And that goes only for those who are involved here in the Senate, and that hasn't included those who are involved in the smuggling attempt by customs personnel.
Yes, Your Honor, because...
Are you preparing already for that eventuality? Because you got the information practically here. There was no investigation by the government, by customs, by the Department of Justice when this occurred. Walang nangyari hanggang dumating dito sa Senado. Kaya lang kayo nakapag-file, nakuha natin lahat, pati tara kay Taguba, at nalaman natin kung paano pumasok yung droga. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
And therefore, it behooves you, and I'm raising my voice here again, if only to show the passion and the very serious nature of our investigation that should not be trifled with. And that is, you should be preparing already charges, and tomorrow there will be a formal report on the drug case already. I was going to do it today, but today I gave it one more day so that in case we find anything else, we could add that to the report. But my report is fairly complete insofar as the drugs are concerned already. So it is my hope that you are closely monitoring and closely investigating through the NBI and the PIDEA what is going on. Are you?
I'm monitoring what was going on, Your Honor.
Under orders of the Secretary of Justice himself.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
may we be clarified? Ito yung December seizure, ano? Not the Valenzuela seizure. We're referring to the December...
This is the Valenzuela seizure.
Valenzuela. But I understand PIDEA also filed a case.
Yes, there is already also another case filed by PDEA, this time involving the customs personnel.
So, i-consolidate nyo
Yes,
na lang?
probably this will be consolidated.
So, kasama na sa PI yung final ng PIDEA?
No, not yet, because it was only yesterday that PDEA filed the case.
But eventually, you're going to consolidate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
How about the December seizure?
I think there is another prosecutor handling that case.
And the San Juan case?
Yes,
Yun na yung San Juan, di ba? How about the Sampaloc case?
There is no, I'm not yet aware of the case involving the
Tatlong seizures kasi,
Maceda.
Valenzuela, San Juan, and mukhang interrelated, di ba?
Yes.
So, walang naipapile na kaso doon sa December seizure, yung 800. Wala pa.
I'm not...
Your Honor, with respect to the almost 900 kilos seized in San Juan last December, the case is now ongoing. As a matter of fact, there are now several hearings for the destruction of the 900 kilos.
Well, we're talking about the filing of cases. Has there been any case filed on the December capture of those drugs?
Yes, Your Honor. The hearing is ongoing with the Regional Trial Court of Pampanga. And on the side...
Against which personalities?
I'm sorry, in San Juan, Regional Trial Court of San Juan.
I was wondering why it was Pampanga. Jurisdiction
I'm sorry,
goes beyond. Who are these people that you filed a case against with?
I believe, Your Honor, that there are three Chinese...
Taiwanese or Chinese?
Chinese or Taiwanese captured, Your Honor.
Which one is which, sir? Would you please submit a report of those cases that have been filed so far and the progress of the investigation? So
yes, Your Honor. Actually, after the inquest proceedings, Your Honor, we filed cases against the following accused. Shi Guixiong, alias Zhong, 44 years old, Chinese national from China, Fujian, China. Chi Wende Jackie Tan, 44 years old, from Fujian, China also. Wu Li Yong, alias David Go, also 44 years old, from Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija.
Filipino?
Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija.
Is he a Filipino, sir?
Filipino citizen, yes, Your Honor. Wu Li Yong, Your Honor, is a Chinese national, a resident of Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija. Abdullah Jamal Mahmoud, Filipino, of Tansa, Cavite. Salim Arafat Kogodao, Filipino citizen of Tansa, Cavite. And Bashir Jamal Tawaki, 19 years old, Filipino from Tansa, Cavite, Your Honor.
Thank you. And what is the progress of the case of that matter so far? Is that already undergoing trial?
Yes, Your Honor. Per the latest report to us, the prosecution has likewise inquired from the court on whether they had already sent notices for the next scheduled hearing on September 18. So that was yesterday. However, they informed us that they have not sent notices because the Honorable Judge is on leave.
I understand the Supreme Court has already ordered continuous hearing of cases. Are they going to be covered by this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Especially
beginning September.
Yes. So
September 1, 2017.
I hope that we can get the judge to show up so that the hearings can be continuous and we can get a conviction of the people.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did I hear you correctly earlier that you personally supervised this? The drugs were destroyed?
Yes, Your Honor. We have, it is the PDEA, Your Honor, but there were several hearings already, and as a matter of fact, I raised this matter of destruction before the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Because of the delay, I think there were already 4 hearings, but the presiding judge was more or less has not yet finally resolved on when the judge would be destroyed and how it would be destroyed, because under the rules of court, the
presiding judge,
the way to destroy this has not been very clear, Your Honor. That's why the judge was very careful about this.
I think the provision in 9165 is quite clear, Mr. Chairman.
I'm aware of that. Go ahead.
The formula is 24/72/24. 24 hours, and then upon filing, within 72 hours, and then another 24 hours. And since the drugs were confiscated last December, definitely naglaps na yung 24/72/24. We're only talking of hours here.
Your Honor, the prosecution in this case has already presented 2 witnesses, one of which a forensic chemist and the other is the agent on the case. We are in the process of interviewing witnesses since their testimony will be in the form of judicial affidavit. Your Honor, with respect to the exact status of the case, may we refer it to you, to the...
Kindly address the question of Senator Lacson. Senator Lacson is a seasoned investigator, and PDEA is also aware of the 24/72/24 rule, which means that once you arrest, within 24 hours, the laboratory should have determined that there is already a
It's under Section 21, Mr. Chairman. Yes. It says within 24 hours upon confiscation, seizure of dangerous drugs, plant sources of dangerous drugs controlled, etc., etc., the same shall be submitted to the PDEA Forensic Laboratory for a qualitative and quantitative examination. Next paragraph, a certification of the Forensic Laboratory examination results, which shall be done under oath by the Forensic Laboratory examiner, shall be issued within 24 hours
that is
after
my point
the receipt.
Exactly. Go ahead.
And then, moving forward, after the filing of the criminal case, the court shall, within 72 hours, conduct an ocular inspection of the confiscated, seized, and or surrendered dangerous drugs, plant sources, etc., etc., and through the PDEA shall within 24 hours thereafter proceed with the destruction.
That is correct.
Or burning of the same in the presence of the accused or the persons from whom such items were confiscated and or seized. So, etc.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, for the update on the destruction process, may we refer you to Deputy Director of the NBI, Jundi Guzman.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, honorable members of this committee. There is already an order of the court for the destruction of these seized drugs seized in San Juan. Actually, there are several criminal cases here, and it's just that the judge handling the case opted to have it totally turned over to PIDEA for the furtherance of their order for distraction.
May I know what the name of this judge is?
Your Honor, the name of the judge is Honorable Juvencio Gascon.
Another Gascon. Would you say that he is ignorant of the law? Pidea? Would you say that the judge is ignorant of the law? Mr. Secretary? I'm asking the questions of all three enforcement agencies.
I really could not answer the question, Your
Well,
Honor.
let's look at the law. Is it mandatory?
But
has the PIDEA conducted a forensic investigation?
Your Honor, as far as the 800 kilos is concerned in San Juan,
we're talking about this case now. I don't.
the San Juan,
sure. We're
the
talking
San
about the
Juan
same
case,
thing.
yes, yes, Your Honor. 500 kilos were already ordered by the court.
Destroyed?
No, Your Honor. Ocular inspection.
What?
It was already, the 500 kilos were already turned over by NBI to PIDEA, but there was still no ocular inspection conducted. So we cannot destroy the evidence without the ocular inspection to be conducted by the court. So the problem is we cannot destroy anything here pending the ocular inspection coming from the court. We already wrote the Supreme Court to expedite the conduct of ocular inspection, Your Honor. But until today, there was still no order for ocular inspection.
Mr. Chairman, 500. So nasaan yung 300 plus kilograms? 900 kilograms eh.
Your Honor, it is still with the NBI. The balance of about 250 kilos, Your Honor.
Bakit tingi-tingi yung turnover? Hindi ba dapat ang disposition lahat PIDEA? That's clear. That's clear in the law. Na PIDEA yung final custodian ng confiscated drugs. In fact, within 24 hours, di ba? That should have been turned over. So bakit may naiwan pang 250 kilograms sa NBI?
Your Honor,
yung ating procedure, Mr. Chairman.
The total of 560 kilos was delivered to us in 4 different days by order of the court.
Let me be very candid here. The law does not allow the court any play here. It says the court shall, within 72 hours, conduct an ocular inspection. If he does not, don't you think, Mr. Secretary, that he is remiss of his duties? This law was done practically in anger by the Congress of the Philippines to be able to quell drugs in this country. And I don't think the judge has any play. I don't think we have room for drugs that have been confiscated in December to still be loitering around somewhere, could be rechanneled, and I'm not saying it has been, redistributed, could be commingled, redistributed again. I mean, is there anything that the Secretary of Justice should do, such as go? I certainly am going to write the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court again on this matter. And I certainly, if I were the Secretary of Justice, put this judge under investigation.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, Your Honor, I've been prodding and I've been wondering why this almost 900 kilos of shabu has not been destroyed. We are very much aware, and we've been guarding this seizure for since the beginning, because we are very much aware that this could be pilfered. As a matter of fact, during our last conference with the in the presence of the Supreme Court Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno in Cebu about 3 weeks ago, I raised this matter to to Her Honor, the Chief Justice, that I complained why it was taking so long for the judge to order the destruction.
Did you furnish us a copy of your letter?
This was in a convention, Your Honor.
So it was said in conversation?
Yes, Your Honor. I think we could do it, Your Honor.
You could furnish us an affidavit that you had this conversation with her?
I think so, yes. Yes, Your Honor. I will.
Would you please do that? Because quite frankly, I'm willing to challenge the gods of law and subpoena this judge even if I know I should not. Subpoena him so that I will create a constitutional crisis where the court will say you have no right to interfere in the Supreme Court, in the judiciary. And I will now say the judiciary is not doing their work. It says here, the law is very clear, 72 hours. And this is not a small matter of small quantities of drugs. This is a large quantity of drugs. The biggest, in fact.
The biggest, yes, Your Honor.
And therefore, this judge should be brought to the ombudsman right away.
I could, Your Honor, I could send you a letter, even under oath, that I discussed this with the Chief Justice just about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Please do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because, you know, you and I sit at the Judicial Bar Council. If I had known this, I would have told the Chief Justice right away, because she and I talk about how we can facilitate justice in this country, because our criminal justice system is totally out of whack. And just to give you an idea of how upset I am, it's now 4 months, and we have not destroyed the evidence. We have not allowed the court to inspect it. The court has not inspected it, and we have not proceeded with the case.
It's almost 10 months, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead,
Secretary,
please.
inquest proceedings po nangyari dito, ano?
That's
Kasi may
right.
arrested eh.
Opo, that's
So
right.
talagang 10 months na talaga. Kasi pagka-inquest, dapat nagbibilang ng 24, 72, 24. So talagang sobrang layo na.
If I remember right, it's December 16, Your Honor.
I am going to be,
Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to be very responsible.
December 23, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, just a quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yung 560 kilos o nasa PDEA, part of it is still with NBI. Is that correct?
258 kilos still with the NBI.
Oh, is there anything in the law that says that a seized amount of drugs will be distributed across two agencies? Hindi ho ba dapat laging together yan, laging magkasama? Hindi ho ba medyo kakaiba na may portion in the PDEA at may portion sa NBI? Director De Guzman, can you explain to us very quickly bakit po may portion sa PDEA at may portion po sa NBI?
Your Honor, please, considering that we already filed this case on inquest, it's now under the jurisdiction of the court. So we are waiting for the court to order the NBI, because in the NBI we have the facility to examine this just like the FIDEA. So this is allowed early on with our arrangement with PIDEA.
Okay, Director, so yung order po ng korte, tingi-tinging ilipat sa PIDEA?
Your Honor, the court conducts
Ocular.
The proceedings in the NBI, and they accordingly inspect the item seized. So the remaining 258 kilos are not yet inspected by the court.
Okay, my question. Nahiwalay po ba yung 900 kilos? Bakit nung pumunta yung korte, 500 kilos lang yung nakita niya? Nasaan ho yung 200 plus na kilos?
Your Honor, during the inspection, hindi po lahat na-inspect ng judge itong total of 800 kilos.
Bakit po hindi lahat?
Partially po, kasi there are series of proceedings conducted by the judge inside the NBI po.
No, are they physically together?
Yes, Your Honor.
Never siya nahiwalay physically?
Never, Your Honor, because
bakit?
it is intact in our forensic chemistry division. Because we want to protect the integrity of our evidence.
Alright. So, Director, pumunta doon yung judge, in-inspect niya, pero hindi ho judge yung pumunta? O yung judge po mismo yung pumunta?
Judge po. Kasi doon din nag-conduct ng proceedings.
Pumunta po yung judge, nandito sa harap niya yung 900 kilos, pero ang in-order niya ay iilan lang para mapunta sa PIDEA. Bakit hindi ho sabay-sabay? Physically together naman po siya.
I think, Your Honor, the reason being is the judge inspects the whole evidence, and only 500 something was inspected by the judge. So the rest will be inspected on some other dates upon the availability of the judge.
Is that usual, Director, na ititingi-tingi yung isang shipment na nahuli? Normal ba yun? Kasi pag in-inspect ho ba, hindi naman ho yan per kilo na i-inspect, di ba? Pupunta ho yung judge doon, titinan niya, meron na ho kayong papeles na kalagay na this is all shabu, this was all taken in one proceeding. Why was it, bakit ho siya hinati-hati?
Your Honor, it's like this. When the judge went there, the per pack, they open it and get a sample representative of each pack.
Yes.
Then that is examined, and that's why.
No. That's not procedure. The procedure is for the judge to wait for the forensic examination. That is the procedure. The judge does not examine. All he does is have an ocular inspection. And once the ocular inspection is done, he orders the burning or the disposition of the drugs. That is why it is within the 24-hour period. That is why I will cut to the chase here. Secretary of Justice is ordered to prepare that affidavit, submit it right away, post haste, if necessary today, and if necessary, I'll call another hearing tomorrow so that I can call this judge and institute a constitutional crisis because they are violating the law. I am sick and tired, Mr. President. Meron na oversight dyan, I know. Because, you see, you have judges that issue, and I've already written a letter to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Judges that issue search warrants on people who are in jail who are eventually assassinated or executed. And I've not gotten a reply yet. I have the highest respect for the Chief Justice, and I'm sorry I have to say this. But now, you have already told the Chief Justice that this judge is in control under his jurisdiction of 900 kilos practically of drugs, and he has not done anything after forensic examination has been conducted. He has no play. He has no play. He cannot even taste the drugs. All he has to do is rely on the forensic examination of the PIDEA and then make the order. He doesn't have to go back and forth. All he has to do is inspect it, ocular inspection, what we call in law as autoptic evidence. Isn't that correct, sir?
That's correct, Your Honor. As a matter
Meaning
of
to
fact,
say, we look at the evidence, real evidence. And once the judge is assured of that, he makes an order. So, based on that, I will get your affidavit. I will now prepare a subpoena be issued with the permission of my colleagues here under the oversight functions, and to institute a crisis within the Supreme Court because they are not acting, and that is why drugs are proliferating in this country, people are being killed, and at the same time, Customs is not doing anything after 2 months, after 4 months. The department has not been able to do anything because the judge is sitting on this case. We are not going to tolerate that. I certainly will not tolerate that, speaking for myself. And so, the order is made.
yes, Your Honor. For the information of the this committee, our conference with the Chief Justice happened last August 25, less than a month ago, in Cebu. And because of the great quantity, Your Honor, of the 900 kilos of shabu that was seized, they were in 1 kilo packages of plastic, and it could fit. It would even be. It could not fit the whole table of the Senate. So what was done by the judge is to have a sample of each and every package, but that's why it took too long, and I believe that he went to the NBI on at least 3 times. But however,
don't you think it's foot dragging?
PDEA told me, Your Honor, that they have some problems with the procedure being taken by the judge, and I believe that the PDEA could be could explain on the procedure being taken by the judge.
Do you suspect foot dragging here?
He was on medical leave, but I think it would be, we would like to hear from PDEA, Your Honor.
Just want to decide
what they experienced.
Yes, PDEA. What is your name, please?
With the permission of the Honor, sir, may I request the Director of the Laboratory Service to explain on the circumstances about that.
And the name of the chairperson of the Laboratory Services?
Your Honor, I am Director Belen Banog from the Laboratory Service, PDEA.
Your full name, please.
Belen Banog, sir.
Belen Pano.
Banog. Banog.
Anyway, we'll get the spelling correct. Please stand up, raise your hand.
Sir, I have already taken oath
Oh,
last
it's
time.
under oath then. What is your position on the matter?
Sir, I'm the Director of the PDEA Laboratory Service.
What is your position on the matter? Does the judge have the leeway?
Sir, as I have observed during the ocular inspection, the decision of the judge is not firm, and they conducted different procedures. There are evidence that they conducted.
What do you mean by the word ocular?
Ocular inspection is they have to inspect the evidence, as well as retesting by the chemist and getting the representative sample for the purpose of court.
Ocular means to inspect by sight.
Sir, at site, sir, at the NBI.
Inspect on site, based on the information that the PDEA has already conducted the examination and that they have done it properly. They have the presumption of regularity. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
And having said that, the law just says the judge goes there, takes a look at it, looks at the drugs, and says, all right, the order will now be issued to destroy the drugs. Is that your experience, or are all judges like this particular judge?
Your Honor, our procedure is...
I ask you, what is your experience on other judges, if any?
Sir, it's different.
Different?
Yes, sir.
Why? What do you mean?
They have different procedure all the time na mag-conduct ng ocular is different procedure. There are...
What are the other procedures? Do they wear a microscope? Do they have an X-ray with them?
Sir, there are drugs na they conducted retesting as well as reweighing.
Are they qualified to do that?
No, the chemist, Your Honor.
The chemist is the only one qualified.
Actually, sir,
I will lead you the definition of ocular. Done or perceived by the eye. B, based on what has been seen. Ocular testimony. 2A, of or relating to the eye. B, resembling an eye in form or function. The law says, after the filing of the criminal case, the court shall within 72 hours conduct an ocular inspection of the confiscated, seized, and or surrendered dangerous drugs, plant sources of dangerous drugs, and controlled precursors and essential chemicals, including the instruments, paraphernalia, and or laboratory equipment, and through the PDEA shall, within 24 hours thereafter, proceed with the destruction or burning of the same in the presence of the accused or the persons from whom such items are confiscated and or seized, or his representative or counsel, a representative from the media and the DOJ, civil society groups, and any elected public official. That's all the law says. Are there any internal rules or regulations that has managed to amend the purpose of the legislators? Are you aware of that, Mr. Secretary?
We are not aware of that, Your Honor.
So in other words, you and I agree, both being lawyers, including the NBI, including the PDEA, including the lab, expert here that ocular means to look at the evidence, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And that should be sufficient.
That should be sufficient if ocular inspection is the only one.
With more reason, I would respectfully request that you submit that affidavit immediately.
I will, Your Honor.
Thank you. Shall we proceed now? And I hope that judge is listening. And I hope he whisks himself here to explain himself right away, because the wheels are already turning. No wonder the wheels of justice turn very slowly in this country. Napakabagal. Go ahead, please.
Yung na-transfer na po sa PDEA, yes, maybe si Ms. Banog can answer. Yung nalipat na po sa PDEA, hindi nyo pa rin po to sinisira, ano?
Yes, sir.
Kailangan nyo bang hintayin lahat ng 900 bago nyo sirain yun? Hindi nyo ba pwedeng sundan yung 24/72/24 kapag nasa inyo na po yung droga?
As long as, sir, na may court order for destruction. Kailangan namin, sir, yung court order na to destroy those drugs.
So may court order na ilipat sa inyo, pero wala pang court order to destroy?
Yes, sir.
Pero sa batas, nakalagay 24/72/24. Hindi ho ba automatic dapat yon na kapag nasa inyo na, sisirain nyo na within 72 hours?
Kailangan pa rin, sir, ng court order based sa law.
Okay. So in short, nagtagal po ito. Yung dapat 72 hours, naging 10 months. Tama ho? In fact, hindi pa nga tapos kasi hindi pa po nalilipat lahat.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's a judge, di po ba? Secretary.
Your Honor, the last hearing on the destruction was July 17. Now, the judge was on sick leave, and so the case was postponed to September 18, from July 17 to September 18, for two months. But on September 18, the case, the hearing was postponed because the judge was still not in, and he will be coming back now on September 28. So this is the status of the leave of the judge, Your Honor.
You know, this is one of the reasons why it's so difficult to be in government. No wonder people lose their trust in government, and no wonder shortcuts are being taken. Can you please proceed? Bilisan mo lang, ano?
Yes, Your Honor. After the sending of subpoena, yesterday, the preliminary investigation was conducted. Respondents Kenneth Dong and Irene Maytatet already submitted their counter affidavits. Respondents Chen Min and Juming Jun, the Taiwanese, as well as Manny Lee, failed to appear, and they are considered to have waived their right to submit the counter affidavit. As for Respondent Mark Taguba, TJ Marceliana, and Richard Tan, including Fidel Anoche D, they were given until March 25 to submit their counter affidavit. Rather, September 25 to submit their
said March.
September 25, rather, Your Honor. And thereafter, we will terminate the preliminary investigation.
And when the moment the judge, the case is filed, the judge will allow the forensic examination has already been conducted. Am I correct there, Pidea? Tapos na po ba yan? In this particular case, ito na yung sa Valenzuela. Konfirmado na po na lahat yan ay mga droga.
Yes, sir. This was, these 500 kilos were examined by the NBI Forensic Lab, sir. The 100 kilos was already finished by PDEA.
Bakit po ba nadi-divorce palagi dyan? Bawal po ang divorce sa bansang ito. Huwag yung dinidivorce yung droga. 500 sa NBI, 100 sa kabila. Talaga binibigyan natin ng excuse na mag-put dragging yung mga judges. Can the NBI, can the director please, Secretary, can you please sort this thing out? At dapat, nasa law naman yan, PDEA dapat yan eh.
Actually, Your Honor, I think it's PDEA's call, so under the law.
Mr. Chairman, legal question.
Yes, please.
Would it affect the chain of custody? Kasi ang daming nadi-dismiss na mga drug cases sa Section 21, I believe, na yung sa chain of custody. Kasi kung hiwa-hiwalay ang custody, Baka mag-suffer yung chain of custody, ma-dismiss yung kaso.
You know, just for the record, Mr. Secretary, I was talking to a judge last night, a lady judge. And I said, ang nahuli nyo ay maliliit. Paano yung mga pusher? Kasi po ang law enforcement natin, napakahina po, karamihan na di-dismiss because ang law enforcement napakahina. Pinababayaan po yung kaso. Just for the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, all right. You included...
I'm waiting for my...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
The answer to my question. Maapektuhan ba yung chain of custody issue rito? Kasi basis for dismissal yan eh.
Secretary of Justice.
Kung magkakahiwalay yung ebidensya.
Actually, it's very probable, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, even at the beginning of this 605 kilos, many in the law enforcement personalities have really said that parang patay na yung kasong yan because of the chain of custody question.
Madiming patay na yung kaso. Mala prohibited na yung nahuli niyo, andiyan na yung drugs. Ano mamamatay?
Because nga po, parang baka magkaroon daw ng depensa.
That is the prerogative, sir, di ba?
That is it is the respondents or accused defense.
They can use a defense, and it would be a sad day for the administration of President Duterte if he cannot win this case.
Well, that's correct, Your Honor. But hopefully, that opinion or that assessment on the part of this police personalities could be salvaged still.
At least yung December seizure sa San Juan, nakita ng judge yung drugs, magkakasama yung 800 plus kilos doon sa custody ng NBI. In this case, hindi pa ito nakikita ng judge kasi definitely hindi dahil wala pa tayo sa trial, di ba? Hindi pa nga natatapos yung PI eh.
That's right, Your Honor.
Magkahiwalay na yung droga, so malamang sa hindi, ma-dismiss na nga itong kasong to. Wala pa man.
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, but that's why I'm asking that legal question because the Secretary of Justice Knowles is a resource person. So I'm trying to look for solution here. So in future confiscations, in future operations, makorek yung mga mistakes na ganyan.
I just don't want the lawyers to think that they can get away with it central action by giving them that excuse. I don't think it's an excuse because you can still examine one portion of the drugs, and no matter if they examine 500 at not properly collected, John, or you 100, you still have a case.
Hopefully, Your Honor.
And, you know, is your question been answered?
Answered by the Secretary of Justice, but contrary to the opinion of the Chairman.
Thank you.
The PDEA, Your Honor, has something to say about this.
Yes, PDEA.
Your Honor, yung 604, ang nangyari kung bakit yung 100, yun yung napunta. Yan yung kininto ni Director Wilkins Villanueva. Sa 100, natapos na namin lahat yung pag-file kay Fidel Anochide, Section 11 at 29165 sa Branch 284. And as of yesterday, mayroon ng court order for destruction, Your Honor.
Meron ng court order for destruction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mukhang mabagal ang NBI, Secretary. That's under your department. Congratulations to PDEA.
May I refer this to the NBI people, what they'll be doing with the other portions of the drug?
Sir, actually, Your Honor, the 500 kilos are intact with our forensic chemistry division. Corresponding examination was already conducted by the NBI, and we already referred the matter to the DOJ for its disposition regarding the...
Pero mas mabilis pa rin ang PDEA, ganun ba?
Mr. Chairman, clarify ko lang sa PDEA, which court ordered the destruction? Wala pa nga sa korte. Yung Valenzuela. Nasa PI pa lang, sinong judge ang mag-order ng destruction?
Hindi, pinailan na naman
Branch 284, Your Honor.
No, but They filed the case with the DOJ. Sinong judge ang mag-order ng distraction kung wala pa yung filed case?
Let me clarify. Si Anoche Lee nakakulong sa Valenzuela. Finailan ba ng PIDEA yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, so na-filean. Kaya nga, I'm aware of that. Pinailan ninyo at yung judge in-issue na nag-ocular inspection ng distraction. We should commend that judge. Yes.
That's right, Your Honor. Yung court distraction with court ano na po order.
May court order na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Destroyed na.
Sir, we have scheduled tentative on October 12, Your Honor.
24 hours lang yan eh.
Yeah. I think the
Gano'n ba kahaba yung 24 hours sa inyo?
Lalo magulo, no? From law enforcement point of view, okay, isa yung nakumpiska, 604 kilograms. May napailan si Anoche D. May pinal ang PIDEA, kasama yung customs, kasama yung sina Mark Taguba. May pinal yung NBI, kasama sina Mark Taguba, hindi kasama yung customs. Di ba ang gulo? Eh pagka dinestroy ng, in order ng judge na i-destroy yung 100 kilograms na nasa PIDEA, ano mangyayari nga doon sa case ng buong 604 kilograms? Parang medyo magulo, Mr. Chairman.
Well, the 100 case, 100 grams, if I get your drift correctly, I think you still have the case of the 100 grams, right? 100 kilos.
Kilos, Your Honor.
100 kilos, I'm sorry. I failed arithmetic. Alright. So may kaso doon. Ang hinihintay natin yung 500. And by the way, in the case of People versus Del Monte, 2008, non-compliance of Section 21 of Republic Act 9165 will not render the drugs inadmissible, but will affect the evidentiary weight only. So the case is not patay, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Secretary, the case is not patay.
Actually, Your Honor, hopefully that's also my hope that it will salvage the case. With respect to the destruction of the 100 kilos, Prosecutor Aristotle Reyes, who is handling the case, some problem with it because he is still hearing the 500 kilos. So there could be some complications if the 100 kilos would be destroyed ahead of the 500 kilos, Your Honor.
Exactly my point, Mr. Chairman.
May we hear from Prosecutor Reyes?
You know, we're all lawyers here. When I run out of arguments, I always say technicality should always step aside to render substantial justice. That is an argument that I've used time and again. I think we have a case. I'm not ready to sell out. And I don't want to advertise the fact, the weakness of our prosecutorial arm. I have so much respect for the Secretary of Justice. The position is so important. One of my revered deans, Secretary Abad Santos, one of my revered, I would say, mentors, Justice Tiangki, occupied that position. And I'm surprised and I'm aghast that we should make very, very fleeting statements here. Now, you have a prosecutor here. Have you taken your oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record, all right? What is your name?
I'm Senior Assistant City Prosecutor of Valenzuela City.
And what is you were raising your hand. What did you want to say?
I want to state that the order of the Honorable Court regarding the destruction of the 100 kilos of shabu was made on August 30.
Yes.
The RTC branch to it, Your Honor.
And do you see any problem with it?
I think there's no problem, Your Honor, because all the evidence were properly marked and there were all the procedures were followed. There was an ocular inspection done by the court in the presence of the accused.
And besides, Your Honor, the 100 kilos were part of the delivery,
Yes, Your Honor.
separated from the 500, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was brought to Anoche D, and they were captured because of that.
Yes, Your Honor.
They could have captured others, but they did not. And my next question is, I'm sorry, to the Secretary of Justice, what happened to that NBI agent that was called by Mr. Estrella? Na person-to-person call na lang ngayon, hindi na NBI ang tinawag, yun na lang mismong NBI na kaibigan niya ang tinawag. What happened to that guy? You'll forgive me if I raise my voice. I'm sick and tired of this.
Your Honor,
You all have to be ashamed of yourselves.
may I ask Your Honor, the MBI Deputy Director is with us.
Anong ginawa niyo doon sa INT na yun? Na nakialam?
Sir, that was the statement of Director Estrella that he called his friend, Director Lito Magno. At that time, sir, Director Lito Magno was assigned in at the office of the Didi Ross, Deputy Director for Regional Operations Service. And
would you say, and if I remember correctly, I asked you this question, he was floating at that time? He had issues, right?
Yes, Your Honor. I think he used to be assigned in Region 3 and he was recalled and assigned...
Because of issues there?
That I am not aware of, Your Honor.
Kindly be candid. You said he was floating, he had issues.
Maybe that's it, Your Honor.
You know, tama na yung kabaro, ha? Kaya nasisira yung buong NBI, nasisira yung buong kapulisan, pati mga judges dahil sa kabaro system. Hindi porque kabaro nyo, exempted yan. What have we done with him?
Now he is now assigned in Region 1, Your Honor.
And is not under investigation?
Not, Your Honor.
Did he not call the NBI?
No.
He did not, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
He just did so on his own, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is why we are going to go hammer and tongs against Mr. Estrella and that person. And if this continues on, I'm ready to say, all the BOC people, and we have that recommendation, dapat filean ng kaso. Dadagdagan ko na yan, baka hindi nyo mapaliwanag yan. Na nakakagulat yung sinasabing wala na tayong kaso. Of course not. This is not personal. There are people who are being killed for lesser quantities and yet these big quantities hindi nyo mahuli-huli. Botch the whole operation. Alright, I think we've heard enough on this matter and I hope, Secretary of Justice, please facilitate this already.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to correct the impression that we're advertising the weakness of this case. We are discussing this matter, so in the future we can correct whatever mistakes
Definitely, I agree with that.
been committed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
So there's no intention to advertise the weakness of this case, Mr.
I never said that there was an intention. I was referring to the Secretary of Justice na sinabi patay.
Your Honor, I was just quoting some of the police personalities immediately after the seizure. But truth to tell, the Secretary of Justice doesn't know anything of any case during its preliminary investigation. I do not meddle in this case. It is only after this has been appealed to my office, the office of the Secretary, and in a petition for review, that I will be poking on the details of this case. But at this stage, Your Honor, your Secretary of Justice knows nothing about the actual facts of this
Thank you,
case.
sir. I just want to show you some, we do our homework here. This is not under your watch. The case against the Alabang boys is not the only high-profile case dismissed by the Department of Justice. Data from the PDEA, Legal Prosecution Service, revealed that there were 9 other cases dismissed from 2003 to 2008. The most common reasons for dismissing the cases are lack of evidence and illegal arrest. Among these are Naguilian La Union Clandestine Laboratory, Date of operation July 9, 2008. Date dismissed November 12, 2008. Already the biggest haul of illegal drugs is in the country. The Shabu laboratory was raided and evidences were hoarded into 6 trucks for investigation. Evidence was found included burners, 24 LPG tanks, 52 cauldrons, 80 sacks of soda, potassium hydrate, 79 bottles of iodine crystals, 15 barrels of phosphorus, 65 boxes of ethanol and other items suspected to have been used to manufacture shabu. An estimated 180,000 kilos of shabu, or equivalent to 1 trillion pesos, can be manufactured with these materials. 4 months after the raid, the case against Police Superintendent Dionisio Borromeo, Rodolfo Damian, First Class PO1, Eusebio Tanggalin, dapat tanggalin talaga, George Cordero, Joey Abang, 5 of the 6 arrested suspects, was dismissed. In January 4, 2009, Justice Secretary Raul Gonzalez, heeding the call of President Arroyo, ordered the reinvestigation of the case. Now, I hope this is not be the case with the Secretary of Justice at the present time. There are other cases. Pagsawitan, Santa Cruz, Laguna, clandestine laboratory, case dismissed. January 10, 2008. Subic smuggling case, state operation, May 25, 2008. An estimated 4.62 billion worth of illegal drugs was confiscated when in transport to Subic. The kilos of shabu were sealed in cardboard boxes and were labeled as computer parts. Investigations led authorities to the warehouse owned by Anthony Anton Ang, where 60 more boxes of illegal drugs were found. Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority Administrator Armand Daresa claimed that Ang tried to bribe the Presidential Anti-Smuggling Group and SBM agents with 50 million to dismiss the case. His case was dismissed 3 months later. We have a very, very sordid, very, very sad record of justice against drugs in this country. And we also have an equally indecent record of killings in this country, so that the people are up in arms against young people being killed, against many people who are being killed in jail because of judges who are stupid enough to come out and give illegal search warrants. And now this. You cannot blame this representation. We work very, very hard here, and that's not the case. That is not the problem. The problem is when the case is prepared, we must win the case. We will look very, very closely at every one of you on this matter. Let justice be done, though the heavens fall.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me now go to the BIR. Under the system in the Bureau of Customs, Your Honor, and thank you for coming this morning. You will forgive my sudden outburst. It is sincerely meant. And I hope you understand. There are 2 layers. The Bureau of Customs collects the taxes from duties and tariff. In this particular case, they have crossed the line. They even went to drugs. Now, some of these people are here. Mr. Taguba is here. And all these people brought drugs. Whether they knew it or not, doesn't matter, because it is considered mala prohibita. On the other hand, they also have other materials that were captured, and I asked the NBI already to proceed and give us the material list. I have not gotten the complete list as yet. What is the record of the BIR? And I will remind the Bureau of Customs. Is Sid La Peña here? Mr. Gambala?
Good morning, Your Honor, sir. Commissioner La Peña is now in a conference in the Department of Finance, but he said he will try to catch up, sir. After
better call it to catch up.
Yes, sir.
I'm missing my other committees here because of this hearing.
Yes, sir.
Now let me say this. Do you have, for example, what we ask you, no less than Senate President Drilon, former Senate President Drilon asked, and I asked. He asked for 1 year, I asked 5 years of all the alert orders issued. Do you have that?
In my possession, sir, not right now, sir, is only the time from September to 2016 to August 2017. Because the previous year, sir, it was with the ports, so we're submitted to you. But we have we'll be submitting, sir, only the September 2016 to August 2017, which was in the command center record, sir.
Will the ComSec please try to secure that information, and let's wait for the others. We will get the 5 years of alert orders,
yes,
and
sir.
their results.
Yes, sir.
On the other hand, the BIR, do you have a track record in the last 5 years, even before you, or for that matter, while under your term? Have you discovered whether you are in fact collecting your taxes adequately? You are supposed to be guarding one another. If they lower the taxes collected or duties collected in customs, you can actually find out the real value when they sell it through the VAT. Is that correct, sir?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning, sir.
Based on your request, we submitted our collection report for the past 5 years. Now, we have a procedure from the Bureau about this monitoring of importers, of brokers, and we issue authority to release imported goods. We call this the latter as a trick.
A trick?
A trick, yes, Your Honor.
A-T-T-R-I-T.
A-T-R-I-G, authority to release imported goods.
All right.
The ICC, the importer's importer certificate, is also processed by the Bureau of Internal Revenue, as well as the broker's clearance certificate. This came about some years ago because of the desire of the Bureau of Internal Revenue then to monitor these importers, because we have no record of these importers, in an attempt importation and all their documents are processed. The authority to release imported goods, they come back to us because we want to make sure that we can compute the value-added tax and the excise tax, if any, on these imported goods. After we have released that, the ball is with the Bureau of Customs for collection. In fact, we don't even have a share on the collection of VAT and excise tax because these are credited to the Bureau of Customs. Now, I have with me, Your Honors, the Assistant Commissioner for Collection and the Regional Director of the BIR who has jurisdiction with the Bureau of Customs. I brought them with me, Your Honors, to give this committee an update on what we have done after we were aware, after listening for the hearings of this Honorable Committee, with respect to the names that came out in this hearing, Your Honor. With your permission, I can ask the Regional Director of Manila to update this committee on what we have done in terms of identifying the specific persons.
Yes, sir, I know that you're doing your job, but what I'd like to know is whether you find any inconsistency or you find anything distorting, that is distorted from your reports against that of Customs. Can you answer that, please?
Your Honor, I am Alfredo Misahon of the Collection Service of the Bureau of Internal Revenue.
You have taken your oath?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Please stand up. State your name and position. Can you talk to the microphone, please?
I am Alfredo Misahon of the Bureau of Internal Revenue.
Alfredo Misahon.
OIC Assistant Commissioner.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
I do, Your Honor.
What is your position again?
OIC Assistant Commissioner for the Collection Service.
Collection Service. And you're based in Manila?
Sorry, sir?
You're based in Manila, sir?
I'm based in the National Office of the of the.
And you monitor. Please sit down. And you thank you. And you monitor all these things that have been going on here.
As far as issuance of importer's clearance certificate, that is the work of one of my divisions, sir.
But you're made aware of it, I'm sure.
Sure, sir.
You are made aware of it, or at least you monitor it.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Go ahead. Did you find anything inconsistent?
Well, under Section 12A of the National Internal Revenue Code, the Bureau of Customs is deputized as collection agent of the Bureau of Internal Revenue for the collection of internal revenue taxes. In other words, Your Honor, the Bureau of Customs is given all the leeway to collect the taxes as having fallen under their jurisdiction, and the BIR had nothing to do with it because the collection that are supposed to be collected by them are part of the collection goal that are assigned to them by the BCC.
We have been made aware of that by our commissioner very ably. My question is simple. Did you find, in your review of the performance of the BIR or the customs, that there is something discordant about it?
Your Honor, I'm not.
Well, let me be precise then. I think you're going to say, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I don't think you're getting the drift of my question. For an example, you're supposed to review somebody who's going to apply for a clearance to import, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Especially those that get into the green lane.
I'm not aware of it, Your Honor.
Or the red lane.
I'm not aware of it.
Or the yellow lane.
What
are you aware of them? What are you only assigned to check?
Our tax clearance section, Your Honor, is only receives application for tax clearance. Or
did you give a clear tax clearance, therefore, to Ms. Tatad?
So that no, Your Honor, I'm not aware of that, Your Honor.
Are you familiar with Ms. Tatad?
I'm not, Your Honor.
Ms. Tatad is a sole proprietor, and she was able to get clearance from customs to import a lot of stuff, a lot of containers, and including the drugs that were brought in.
So see, as I learned, Your Honor, from one of our people, Ms. Tatad was able to secure a clearance.
And who was that who issued the clearance?
It's the Office of the Accounts Receivable Monitoring Division, or ARMD.
Mr. Commissioner, I don't think I'm going to be able to get much from your witness here. I just want to know, ito mga mag-i-import ay may kakayahan at nagbabayad ng sapat na buwisyan para papayagan makapag-import. Eh dapat alam nila na ito si Ms. Tatad ay nagre-review for school teacher. At siya ay single proprietorship na pumasok siya sa green lane na hindi siya isang korporasyon na yung pinasukan niya ay dapat ma-inspeksyon kung talagang tutusin dahil galing ang goods na sa China at napakarami niyang ini-import. Tama po ba yung sinasabi ko?
Well, yeah. As I mentioned earlier, Your Honor, after we got the names of those involved in this particular importation, I asked the Regional Director of Manila to immediately look into the records. With your permission, we can allow him to
Sino po yan?
Mr. Gubalya, Your Honor.
Mr. I'm sorry, this has been a tough morning.
Your Honor, I am Director Gubalya of Manila. Your statement just earlier regarding Ms. Tatad of EMT Trading, my answer to that is she was able to get an import clearance in the BIR, and the one who issued the clearance is from our main office. Right now in Manila, wherein I have jurisdiction over the Port of Manila, when this hearing came about, I proactively get all the names. Actually, all the players here, I have already some data against them. So I'm very aware that Ms. Tatad is just a school teacher. she was able to get a...
No, she's not just a school teacher. She is a school teacher.
Sorry for she's a school teacher, and then
Just got her license.
License last year, 2016. And then her first import, according to our data, which we got from the Bureau of Customs, it arrived April 2017. She imported general merchandise, assorted textiles and everything.
In the amount of?
195 million.
195 million. And did that send off bells and whistles? Di ba nakakagulat yun? Sabi mo nga, school teacher siya.
Pero sir,
single proprietorship, 195 million ang ini-import niya.
Your Honor, we just came to know about this sa Bureau of Customs lang din namin kinuha yung data. Kasi ang nasa data po lang namin is siya ay na-issuehan lang ng import, to import.
Hindi ba chinecheck yan, Mr. Gambala? Paano siya mapupunta sa Green Lane kung gano'ng kalaki ang ini-import niya? 195 million, una pa lang yun. First importation, 195 million. Do you have an answer, sir? Captain?
Yeah, it should have been monitored, sir.
It should not have been allowed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that your answer?
It should, as far as if you will evaluate her standing, sir, if she had been evaluated properly, sir, she should not. It should have been raised a red flag already, sir.
She should not have been allowed.
Yes, sir.
Certainly not in the green lane.
Yes, sir.
Certainly not in the yellow lane.
Yes, sir.
And maybe not in the red lane.
In the first place, sir, she should not have been allowed to import, sir.
She should not have been allowed to import because
of her standing, sir. As she has no capability, sir, to import big shipments, sir.
Right. And did she import other things, sir, Mr. Gubalio?
Sir, yun lang po ang records na we have. That is for the month of May.
April yun, April.
April, sorry. April. Then, we heard from this committee na May and June dumating na yung...
So, pakitignan nyo nga lang lahat.
Yes, Your Honor.
At bigyan nyo kami, kung pwede this afternoon. Tatapusin ko, tapos na yung report ko eh.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Itong sila, si TJ Hooker. I mean, TJ, I'm sorry, that was one of my movies when I was a kid. TJ Marceliano. Ano nalaman niyo sa kanya?
Sir, are you asking about TJ?
Yes. The only one.
He is a professional customs broker as the BIR records is concerned. He is registered in BIR Intramuros, Ermita. And then, as custom brokerage, he applied for accreditation as broker on December 22, 2014 under BIR BCC number 20-14-12-0050, which is valid until December 22 of this year, 2017. As per our records, she has a motorcycle, 3 motorcycles, and then he was the broker of the EMT trading as far as our records is concerned.
And were you aware of EMT trading?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you tell me what you were aware of about EMT trading?
EMT trading is the trading company of Miss Tatad.
And what do you know about the financial capability of EMT trading? Sa mga nanonood po, mahirap talaga ito, tanong ko na ito dahil kailangan palabasin kung anong kakayanin.
As I have said earlier, Your Honor, Ms. Tatad is
walang capability.
Is a teacher by profession.
So dapat yon, kung tinitingnan nyo ngayon, Hindi kayo maniniwala na mag-i-import siya. Dapat mag-suspect siya kayo na ginagamit lamang siya. Tama ba yan?
Alam po namin yan, na ginamit lamang siya.
Ginamit lamang siya. Sino ang gumamit sa kanya sa pagkaalam ninyo?
Yun po ang hindi po namin alam because
parang ginamit ka mo eh.
we are just, per our records, yun po ang EMT Trading ang nagparating sa customs, nagparating nito.
So alam natin, ang tawag sa kanya really is parang disposable. Ginagamit lang siya.
Parang for hire ho siya.
Ano ang may sasuggest nyo therefore ngayon sa Bureau of Customs o sa amin, mga mambabatas, na para mapigilan yung mga ganyang patakaran, para hindi makalusot sa amin yung mga, sa customs yung mga gagamitin para makapagpalusot?
Your Honor, even before, we are always asking the Bureau of Customs na magkaroon po kami ng exchange of information to give us all these importation so that we can check on our records kung saan po dinadala ng mga nag-i-import itong mga goods na to.
Kaya nga po, nag-issue po ng LOA si Ginoong Peldon. Binigay kay Estrella yung LOA po para makita kung ano ang assessment, kung tama. Letter of, ano yan? Assessment ba yan? Letter of authority to determine whether the goods are still there, whether they pay the right taxes. Is that it? That's correct? Yeah.
Your Honor, what I'm trying to say is, hindi po namin, we cannot get any information from the Bureau of Customs. So
no, pero tinatanong ko po, kung gano'n, meron kayo nakitang gano'n at naglalabas yan ng gano'n, hindi po ba dapat inspeksyon na rin ng BIR kung may kapasidad magbayad ng buwis sa dami ng nilabas yan? Dapat kaagad inimbestigan nyo na, saan mo kinuha yung pera mo para mag-import ka ng ganyan?
Yes, Your Honor, we are gathering data or the evidence against, like the case of Ms. Tatad. We are now forming, collating all these data.
Kay Mr. Taguba?
Meron na rin po kay Mr.
Meron kayong ginagawa?
Yes.
I will not go into that anymore because kailangan we will just expect what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes,
Is correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Dahil ang daming in-import.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Isang tanong na lang. Narinig niyo yung tara dito, di ba?
Yes, dito sa committee, yes.
You're familiar with it?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will ask the Commissioner, you're familiar with it?
Only during the hearings, Your Honor.
You never heard of tara before? The Friday...
Frankly, no, Your Honor.
All right. Having said that, umaabot, according to Mr. Taguba, ng 27 million ang binibigay niya tuwing Biyernes. Tama ba yan? No. Million.
Nandito si Mr. Taguba, Mr. Chairman. Do you confirm 27 million yung payout? Yung payoff mo?
I'm sorry, 270 million times 10,000 containers. I'm sorry. Ayan o. At yung tara mo umaabot ng 27,000 ba yan? 27,200 per container. And because you have let's say 100 containers, malaki na yan. Maraming perang magpapalit-palit, di ba? Maglalabas sa bangko. Babayaran mo, tuwi-tuwi na yan. Kung 1 million containers yan, abuti na 27.2 billion. Can you see it, sir? Mr. Commissioner? So, hindi ba tayo magtataka na saan ang pupunta, saan galing yung perang binabayad dyan?
Precisely, Your Honor. We would like to get a closer coordination with the Bureau of Customs because importation of 60 point
Well, sir, you're in the finance team. Kung sama nyo si Secretary Dominguez, and happy birthday to him the other day. He's my, we were in the dorm together. Good man. But I would tell him, I'm sure you would tell him na kailangan magkaroon kayo ng coordination.
Yes, Your Honor. Absolutely.
Ganyan kalalaki ang perang lumalabas sa isang tao pa lamang. Ang dami-daming player. Sinabi na ni Senator Lacson, ang dami-daming player.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, I think there's a unit in the Bureau of Customs, and siguro si Attorney Alcaraz can help me out on this. Meron yung post-audit. What's the particular name of that unit, of that outfit? Post-audit entry.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
The unit is the post-entry audit group.
Post-entry audit. Ito yung nagko-coordinate sa BIR kasi chinecheck kung yung lumabas sa customs, nagbayad ng tamang VAT at saka kung saan napunta, di ba?
Yes, yes.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
So, with a closer coordination between the Bureau of Customs and the BIR through the post-entry audit, mahagip nyo ito yung mga importation na hindi dapat nakaka-capture. Correct po ba yan, Attorney?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. That's correct.
The BIR? Talaga naman meron ganun eh. Kaya nagtataka ako sa inyo, hindi sila sabi, talaga meron ganun.
We get information from them through exchange of information with that office, and we are processing this for future enforcement din ng BIR.
DEPCOM Gambala, who is in charge of the post-entry audit now?
Actually, sir, it was already transferred to the Department of Finance, I think 2 years ago, sir. So it was taken away from the Bureau of Customs, sir.
2 years ago?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, sir. I think it was during the time of Secretary Purisima, sir, I think.
Secretary Purisima.
Understand, before si Attorney Ligon yung in charge ng post-entry audit hindi ba? So after Attorney Ligon, wala nang pumalit sa kanya sa Bureau of Customs?
No more, sir, because it was already transferred at DOF, sir.
Ay.
Would you say, and I'll ask this question of Senator Ping, as well as you, na napaka-powerful ng tao yun?
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, in the new law, the CMTA, it was stated therein that the post-entry audit should be under the Bureau of Customs, sir.
Dahil malalaman niya talaga kung magkano perang...
Yes, sir.
So dapat...
especially those who are not did not undergone inspection, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we will take note of that. I believe we have Attorney Nage. Somebody gave me a note here. Is Attorney Nage here? You know, I've been receiving complaints from other people, especially from the Customs Brokers Association. And I thought that somebody should come here. You are a professor of, before you speak up, you want to speak up here right now?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. We were invited even previously, Your Honor, but we never been asked questions. So
I'm sorry, that's because ang dami talaga ang tinatanong. Pasensya na ho kayo.
And for the information of the body, I've already took my oath last time.
All right, thank you. Attorney Nagi, you're the president of the Chamber of Customs Brokers Incorporated, and that's why we invited you. Because nga, naintindihan niyo yung procedures na nangyari. Ano masasabi niyo sa nangyari dito?
Your Honor, for the information of the of this committee and the chairman.
Excuse me, where do you teach? Anong tutulong?
No, Your Honor, as a background, I'm the president of the Chamber of Customs Brokers Incorporated. The Chamber of Customs Brokers Incorporated is the accredited professional organization of customs brokers. So, Your Honor, all licensed customs brokers automatically, if you are given a license with the Professional Regulation Commission, you are a member of the Professional Regulation Commission. So, I myself, being a customs broker, I am a member. And now, our association, I am the president. So, regarding the matter, Your Honor, this is not really the doing of the legitimate customs brokers. As I've said, as we related before, although one of the parties involved is our member, Mr. TJ Marceliana. But the one doing all of these things are not really customs brokers, but only capitalists, players, fixers, as what they said, Your Honor.
And you know that this has been happening widespread, flagrantly.
We cannot deny that, Your Honor, because that's been part of the system of the Bureau of Customs. That's why there is...
How many years? Many years.
Many years already, Your Honor.
Many.
Yes.
I'm trying to show the problem. That's why we're trying to solve it. Go ahead.
That's why, Your Honor, we would like to take this opportunity to really ask the Bureau of Customs to deal directly and only to the professional customs brokers, because we are the ones given by the law, by Republic Act 9280, to transact business, professional business with the Bureau of Customs.
TJ Masillana is one of your brokers.
Exactly, Your Honor, but the one behind it is not.
And how is Customs supposed to find out? Can you tell us?
Your Honor, you know, that's been in the system. Anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can transact.
I'm not involved in Customs.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Anybody, can deal with the Bureau of Customs, but the main or the principal requirement or the prior requirement is that there must be a licensed customs brokers filing or lodging an entry. So the moment there is already a customs broker who lodges an entry, then that's it. Anybody can talk to customs. Anybody can coordinate the clearance, the release. Not necessarily only the licensed customs brokers. But the requirement is that in order for you to lodge an entry or file or register an entry to release, to facilitate the legal release of the shipment, you need a licensed customs broker. That's why one of our members, Mr. TJ Marceliana, was in the system.
I'm aware that you're licensed and that's needed. If that is the case, how can we stop these fixers from proliferating?
Mr. Chairman, I have an offered solution. Wilkins, mag-issue kayo ng ID na kasi laki ng dibdib, license, customs broker. All others should not be allowed to enter the customs premises.
I was about to say that.
By the way, attorney, that was my bill. Yung customs broker, di ba? That was my bill.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Senator Lacson was one of the authors of the
Commercial
bill.
is valid. Walang bayad. Go ahead.
So, yes, I think the Bureau of Customs just strictly implemented that only licensed or customs brokers should deal directly with them, and
Would
only...
it be possible to have uniforms for legitimate customs brokers and nobody should be allowed there? An aircraft carrier, they have color-coded uniforms. People handling firearms or bombs, I think they're colored purple, if I'm not mistaken. Tama ba?
Yes, sir. I adhere to that suggestion, sir, that we should have a stricter rules in terms of people entering the
So hindi
customs.
makakapasok kung may mga uniforme. Kung broker ka, ang uniforme mo, kulay blue ba for 1,000 pesos or kulay dilaw for 500? ID.
Malaking ID na i-issue nyo lang sa licensed customs brokers. All others should not be allowed to enter the customs premises. I think that's a sound solution.
Yes, sir.
So,
pero paano yung iba? Sabihin nila, we have the right to go in there. I'm a lawyer.
hanggang gate lang sila.
Yes, sir, but I think
I
that's
have a solution eh.
Yes, sir.
Dapat meron kayong gate for those who have complaints in any office. I did that in Olongo Forest, SBMA. Pag may complaint ka, hindi ka pwedeng pumasok doon sa assessor, hindi ka pwedeng pumasok doon sa kakausapin mo para mag-cash yung duan. Meron lang, public relations officer doon, I have a complaint, fill up your complaint, lalakad yung papel, mag-isa, hindi kailangan lagyan ng pampadulas. Pwede kaya yun, Mr. Gambara?
Yes, sir.
There's a separate booth for everybody who wants to deal with customs. Hindi pa papasukin. Kung papasok yun, dapat nakalag, malaking tag para makapasok, para at malalaman kung sino pinuntahan yan. Okay sa iyo yun, Ferdy? Attorney Nagi?
Yes, Your Honor. The suggestion of the chair a while ago that maybe customs brokers or all our customs representatives, because, Your Honor, we have customs representatives or customs brokers representatives who are facilitating from one or clearing or doing all the administrative or step-by-step procedure from one customs officer to another.
Trying to facilitate this, I'd like to listen to the
So how can you minimize or even eliminate human intervention? Baka pwedeng para sa Singapore, di ba? Wala na. Babayad ka na lang sa bangko, pwedeng online nga lahat eh.
Your Honor, that is correct. I think that is timely because we have now the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act. I think that is the objective, sir, to really computerize, automate everything. No more face-to-face.
All transactions are computerized.
Yes,
from the
Your
judgment all the way hanggang sa release. Of course,
yes,
physical na yun. Pero lahat ng walang intervention ng ang human beings doon sa transaction phase, di ba? Ang human intervention na lang, yung pagka yung driver na lang nung lorry, di ba?
Yung i-clear na lang po.
Hindi pa rin ng 200 pesos sa gate yun.
No. Araw sa Subic eh. Meron magnanakaw sa Subic lahat. Di pa dumarating yung kargamento ng Amerikano, nananakaw niya na eh. Nililipat nila. Sabi niya, habang tao manahan dyan, pag aso na, hindi ko na mababayaran yan. Pero pag tao, kaya kong kausapin. Is that the problem?
Yes, it has been proven in the past, Your Honor, that because of face-to-face or human intervention, nandun na po nangyayari yung kalokohan. So, the objective really of the automation or the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act is to eliminate all of this manual processing, or face-to-face transaction.
All right, just a moment. I just want to be cordial and courteous to our people, our guests here. Secretary Aguirre, unless you have any more questions with Secretary Aguirre, you may go, sir. And thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much,
kindly
Mr. Chair.
submit.
Thank you very much, Senator Pino.
Kindly submit po yung affidavit ninyo, kumari this afternoon.
Gagawin po agad pag dating ko sa office.
Maraming salamat po. And Commissioner, thank you very much for coming. I don't have any more questions. I just want to ask you to submit your suggestions to us on how you can better raise the taxation and capability, because kawawa naman yung tao, kayo rin naman niningil eh. Magdadagdag kami ng buwis, pero kung makukuha natin sa customs at saka sa VAT dyan, malaking bagay, hindi ba?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. And I also I got the calling card of Mr. Attorney Inage. I'd like to sit down with him, especially on the matter of broker's certification, so that we can coordinate how to improve.
Sandali lang po. I will send somebody, a representative here. I may have other resource questioning lang sa inyo later on. I'll let you go already para di na kayo maabala. Ano po?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Papakuha ko lang ko yung telepono nyo para matawagan ko kayo kung sakasakali. Bibigyan ko rin yung number ko.
Certainly.
Thank you for coming. I just needed to confirm that eh. Kasi we know that there is an office in Customs na tinatapatan ng BIR yan. Para malaman natin kung ano nangyayari. Ano po?
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll come out with our position.
Thank you, boss. With the request also to the Department of Justice, pakibilisan nyo lang. And please submit also a way upon which you can stop these judges from delaying the case. Dapat yung law isundin in 2472-24.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then that can be the basis of a letter by the Blue Ribbon Committee to the Chief Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. There is a request because we have liquidity problems. I will also have to go where Senator Lacson is going, not because he's my type.
Permission to leave, Your Honor.
Please go ahead. Thank you. Attorney Nagi, mamaya ako na kayo tatapusin, ano? Please stay put lang, sandali lang kami. Ano po? Session is suspended for a few minutes. In Singapore, they are perfect practically. And just to give you an idea, Shanghai has 36.5 million containers Singapore has 30.92 million containers. And Shenzhen has 24.20 million containers. If you go down the line, the Philippines has only 4 point, ano sabi yan? Number 35, 4.23 million containers a year. And this is 2015. And yet, hindi ganun kasama ang customs na ibang bansa. Tayo talaga ang pinakagrabe. And I'm laying the predicate now. I cannot tell you everything that I talked about with the ambassador of China. I can, however, tell you that I was embarrassed, and I will tell this to the customs people. Because sabi niya, we cooperate. I'm sorry, Dr. De Guzman, you and Dr. Villanueva said that hindi kayo masyado nakakapag-cooperate. But I was given enough evidence that shows there's a lot of cooperation. And sila ang tinanong niya sa akin na medyo nagimbal ako. Ang sabi niya, paano nakalusot sa green lane? So, sinabi ko rin yung nagbigay sila ng ebidensya sa atin, pero sabi niya walang Pilipino. Sabi ko may Pilipino sa Chile at meron pang iba. But anyway, I can go on and on, but I don't want to on that. But I found out that there was a protocol that was signed as early as 2000 and October 30 October 2001. That's the MOU between Narcotics Control Bureau of the Ministry of Public Security of the People's Republic of China, bigyan nyo nga Senator Lacson, and Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency of the Republic of the Philippines. That's PDEA. You're aware of that, PDEA?
Your Honor, can I refer you to our Director Bayan? Yes, Your Honor.
You should say you're aware. You're
yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
I was about to...
Yes, Your Honor.
You should know that 2017 pa ito, na ngayon, that was 17 years ago. And there are protocols. For an example, I will ask you, under paragraph 1, scope of cooperation, subject to existing and applicable treaties and each participant's domestic laws, the participants will cooperate on the following fields for effective suppression and control of drug crimes. Number 1, exchange of information and data on drug crimes, which shall include but not limited to the following. Each participant will provide to the other an updated list of drug suspects who are citizens of others participants with complete profile if possible. Do you get that or do you do that?
We do that, Your Honor.
How come you did not tell us before, Andel?
During the bilateral meetings, Your Honor, we give them, particularly when we have international conventions, Your Honor, we do bilateral.
But you have regular meetings here.
Yes, Your Honor.
And how come hindi nyo nasabi yan doon sa yung mga nahuli nyo na Taiwanese na may pangalan, yung nahuli natin dito sa binililitis na kaso ngayon? Nasabi ba yan?
No, Your Honor. We have been meeting with our Chinese counterparts, Your Honor, when we have convention.
But you will forgive me because I asked you and I don't want to have to call to the TSN. Anong participation, anong cooperation binibigay sa inyo? Sabi nyo, hindi kayo pinapansin. Yan rin ang sinabi sa akin nung Undersecretary of Justice, hindi sila masyadong pinapansin. Baka ikako, hindi kayo pinapansin dahil nung araw, and I will notice this, araw, nagkagalit ang gobyerno ng Pilipinas at ang China.
Your Honor, we do communicate with our counterpart, but they don't give us the official answer. We do it on like Viber with other communications,
No, I think
Your
you
Honor.
should do it not by Viber, but by official.
That's why, Your Honor, we cannot tell you the official response of our counterpart because it's not official, Your Honor. And that's why we are telling you that we are waiting for their official answer, Your Honor.
This is official.
Yes, Your Honor.
But
But on this particular case, Your Honor, we don't have the official answer to our inquiries, Your Honor.
Yun dito.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero
But we are cooperating with them, particularly on the big.
I have it on the highest authority now that if you ask them, they'll give it to you. I was assured that.
Yes, Your Honor. But on this particular case, Your Honor,
On this particular case.
yes, Your Honor, we will be
I am telling
following it up, Your Honor.
I'm telling you. And
Yes, Your Honor.
in fact, we develop a very good relationship with each other. B, each participant will provide to the other the profile or status of any arrested drug personality who is a citizen of the other participant for the purpose of conducting further investigation in the latter's country. I think you should take advantage of this. Don't you think so?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you speaking as director now, or?
Yes, Your Honor.
I think you better speak director because you're the one in charge. I think the gentleman beside you is about to go to the Bureau of Customs. What was that?
I agree with what you have said, Your Honor.
Thank you. Try to speak well so I can understand you. Thank you. Cooperation in drug investigations.
We do, Your Honor.
Assistance in repatriation of drug criminals.
None so far, Your Honor.
Well, maybe you're not paying attention to this. This is an institution that you built with the Chinese. And you can always refer to this. You have a legal department, don't you? You can prepare a letter consistent with the memorandum of understanding and the protocols that we agreed with, signed between Mr. La Peña and Mr. Kuming Lang, Director General. You can now get it. Meron ka na, Ping?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm making you aware of this.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ang Senado po, hindi po kami uupo dito at tatanggapin namin ang lahat ng kabuktutan, lahat ng katamaran at lahat ng hindi ginagawa ng gobyerno, including judges, including PDEA, including NBI, including Bureau of Customs. Kaya kami lumalabas dito. Ano po?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kaya gawin nyo rin po yan. Ano po?
We will do that, Your Honor.
Ang sasagutin nyo lang dito, opo, gayon, gagawin na po namin kung di nyo pa nagagawa. Opo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mode of cooperation. The participants will cooperate with each other. Para malaman ng publiko ito. Under the protocol and designate working level, focal points, and determine specific measures for cooperation by frequent consultation. Paragraph 3. Whether, dito yung sinasabi natin. Meeting. The participants will hold when practicable annual meetings or whenever necessary. Take note, or whenever necessary. In any case, specific such as the date, venue, attendees, and agenda of the meeting shall be determined by the participants with prior consultation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Exchange of experience. Participants may send their narcotics investigators to the other participants for training or research. Specifics such as the training date, location, trainees and training or research subject will be determined by the participants with prior consultations.
We do that, Honor. Your Honor, in fact, by October 14 to 28.
I'm aware of that. You're going to have a big exercise. Training.
Yes, Your Honor.
We do our homework, you know.
Yes, Your Honor.
Each participant will bear the participant's own expenses. Yun ang masakit. May pera naman kayo siguro, no? Huwag kayo magpapapadala doon. Huwag kayo magpapahingi ng pera sa kanila. Will bear the participants' own expenses for cooperation, investigation, regular meetings, or trainings unless any other arrangements are agreed upon within the participants' and consultation. So you should ask that in your budget. Nagbabudget tayo, humingi kayo ng pera para kaya nating harapin na hindi tayo makikiusap, na hindi natin tatawagin si Kabise. Alright?
We will do that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Paragraph 6, confidentiality. Hindi ko na sabihin yan. Bigyan kita ng kopya. May kopya ka ba nito?
We have, Your Honor.
Oo, nasaan? Saan?
The copies are with the Director for Legal and
You're
Prosecution
like
Service.
Perdona. You have a lawyer on the side, a lady lawyer who wishes to you. The cell phone. Andiyan naman pala lahat eh. Ngayon mo naman nakita yan? Ngayon lang ano, magsabi ka totoo.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. At least you're honest. Para wala nang lusutan sa susunod. NBI, take note. Refusal of request. Ayan, refusal of request. Pag tinangya, a participant may refuse a request from the other participant in its entity or in any part if the execution of the request may jeopardize the sovereignty, security, or public interest of its respective state, in which case a notice of refusal stating its reason will be promptly provided to the requesting participant. Pwede kang humindi, pwede silang humindi kung national interest or may public interest na involved. At saka sovereignty. Kaya pag pinag-usapan nyo yung splat list, medyo tawagin nyo kami ng konti dyan. Huwag si Trillanes. Ay, sorry, hindi pala. Dahil sabi, hindi raw issue is Scarborough Johnson. Biro lang yan, biro lang. I have to smile a bit. Any dispute arising from the interpretation, application, or implementation of this protocol will be settled amicably by consultations or negotiations within the participants through diplomatic channels. Effectivity, this protocol will come into effect on the date of its signature. The protocol will be effective for 5 years and will be renewed for similar periods unless one participant officially notifies the other participant to diplomatic channels of its intention to suspend or terminate this protocol. In such a case, the protocol will remain valid until 60 days after the date on which one participant receives an official notification from other participant expressing the desire of this latter to suspend or terminate the validity of this protocol. Now, to your knowledge, and I'll talk to Mr. Villanueva, whether did you ever use this protocol at any time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oo naman.
Sir, our Director General has signed that document, and he was always telling us that we have the protocol.
And my question is, have you used it in writing?
We wrote them, Your Honor, in formal. We formally wrote them, Your Honor.
I will take your word for it.
Yes, Your Honor. We formally
But if you don't
wrote
want me
them.
to take your word for it, I will ask you to give me the letters that you've sent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We will be, Your Honor.
That's right. If you don't want me to take your word for it.
You can take my word, Your Honor.
Okay. Masyado na seryoso. Sabi ko lang eh.
On right yun, sir. On right yun, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Termination of this protocol will not affect the implementation of any ongoing activities or projects unless both participants wish to decide otherwise. Signed in Beijing, October 20, 2016, with original copies each in English and in Chinese. Languages for both texts. This was signed in 2001. Correct?
We have the renewal na 2016, Your Honor.
No, the MOU was signed in 2001. This protocol was signed in 2016.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of that? Signed. Signed. Will you please tell me what the nice lady is telling you?
With the permission of the chairman, may I just refer to the lady for the para sir makumpleto na yung ano.
Chance ha, chance. First time ka, prima para ka eh, chance. Pero next time hindi na pwede yan ha. What's your name?
Attorney Zarina Aquino, sir.
Attorney?
Zarina Aquino.
Garila?
Zarina.
Zarina. Okay. Ang ganda naman ang pangalan mo. Zarina. Okay, raise your right hand, please.
I do, Your Honor. I do, Your Honor.
Yes, okay, thank you. All right. So you have a copy of this signed?
I have in our office, Your Honor. We didn't bring it today, but I have a copy here in my phone. Not signed, Your Honor.
Okay, that's right, all right. I'm glad that you're efficient enough to put it on your sign. Do you go with your director OIC all the time? General Fajardo?
I'm the Deputy Director General of ADMI, Your Honor.
But you're the OIC right now, right?
No, we now have our Director General.
So, sino ba? Si Sid Lapenya pa rin?
No, Your Honor, Director General Aaron Aquino.
Aaron Aquino?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the Sarina is also an Aquino. Are you related? Okay, thank you. How come he doesn't appear here? You know, we abolished the road board yesterday because for failure of the head to appear, and that is going to stay abolished.
Your Honor,
this is the third meeting that we've not had him.
He assumed September 12, and this morning as he had a MOU signing with the royal tie, Your Honor.
Royal tie?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I will excuse that for the moment, but next time please attend.
I will inform you, Your Honor.
All right. I just wanted to show you that because we have other documents that I will just show my colleagues here. But in any case, it shows that they are willing to cooperate, and I understand they gave hefty amounts. Are you aware of that? Billions of pesos were given to PIDEA and the armed forces, including vests, including equipment, testing equipment. Are you aware of that?
No, Your Honor.
I will just cite the others here because this includes everything from typhoons to one, no? But among this is for PIDEA. They even gave donations for wounded soldiers and families of the fallen soldiers. And engineering equipment to Marawi. No, don't put it there, please. Don't put it there. I'm not at liberty to do that, even for the flu outbreak. But I had another copy that showed support to the PIDEA. And it's... News article na lang. We'll just post a news article para hindi niya masasabing hindi sila nagbigay. Para namang masabi ng Chinese ambassador that I was also forthright. There were other things that I cannot reveal here. Well, it's there. Lagay dyan yung nag-sign kayo ng agreement. Alright? But I guess okay, very important. Bureau of Customs. There are many abandoned containers in customs. Is that correct? By the way, while you're thinking about the answer, I just saw Mr. Rayner. Aren't you supposed to be in Beijing as the liaison officer of the Bureau of Customs in Beijing? That was what I was told. Did you reject it?
I am not aware of it, Your Honor.
Well, I'm telling you, you were supposed to be there, not here.
I'm really not aware of it, Your Honor.
Well, you better find out from your superiors, because that's where they were looking for you when they sent the text message to you concerning Mr. Chang. Anyway, do you have an answer, General Karma?
Your Honor, I'm aware of it, but I do not have first-hand information. I'll find out and I'll get back to you.
Your Honor, under Customs Memorandum Order number 24-2015, procedures in the processing of importer or consignee's request for extension of period to file entry declaration, continuous processing or entry similar, and tagging of abandonment and other similar requests. They don't file an entry within 30 days. It shall not be extendable from the date of discharge of the last package from the vessel or aircraft, and this would be considered abandoned. Is that correct, Captain Gambala?
Yes, sir. Upon the arrival of shipment, sir, within 15 days, if they are not able to file an entry, sir, it will be deemed as abandoned. But however, they will still be given 15 days, sir, to appeal or write the collector, and after that, in total, sir, about 30 days, sir, they will be deemed as abandoned, sir.
And do you know for a fact that there are many abandoned containers in the customs area?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you allowed to open them?
Yes, sir, because it should be examined, sir. Especially if it's a perishable goods, or because it should be, as far as if it is abandoned, sir, it could be used as for auction, sir.
Would it be
Mr. Chairman,
reasonable? Yes.
may I just interject
Sure.
in relation to the topic or the issue at hand? So, after 30 days, yung 15 plus 15, basta abandoned, hindi pwedeng i-release. Impossible to be released.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you confirm that, ano? Kasi abandoned na eh.
Yes, sir.
Dapat yan, forfeited in favor of the
Forfeited in
government.
favor of the government, sir.
Pagka na-release, anong parusa? Pag na-release ng commissioner ng customs, yung declared abandoned, say nag-lapse yung 15 days, another extension of 15 days, o umabot halimbawa ng 45 days. Kung na-release pa rin ng customs commissioner.
It should not be, hindi dapat, sir, i-release, sir.
Pero kung na-release nga,
it's a violation, sir. There's a violation on that.
Kung halimbawa ang agricultural products yung release, walang import permit, after the lapse of, say, sabihin natin, 45 days.
Actually, sir,
long, di ba?
It will undergo, sir, a hearing, sir, to find out, sir.
Abandoned na nga eh. Tapos na eh. Ano pang hearing? At nirelease pa rin, in spite of having been declared abandoned and forfeited in favor of the government, nirelease ng Customs Commissioner, agricultural products, and we passed a law last year, Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act of 2016.
Yes, sir.
Ang threshold ng rice is, alam mo ba, 10 million, di ba? Threshold.
Yes, sir, for...
Pag lumampas ng 10 million pesos worth, economic sabotage.
Economic sabotage, sir.
No bail.
Yes, sir.
Pag other agricultural products, 1 million, like garlic, onions. Pag lumampas ng 1 million, economic sabotage.
Yes, sir.
No bail.
Yes, sir.
Pagka public official lang involved, maximum penalty. Perpetual disqualification.
I'll find out, sir, about it.
I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Section 4. And then, hindi na pwedeng bumoto in future elections. Di ba? Oh, I'm telling you. Anyway, yeah, please continue. So, on record, basta't lumampas ng 15 days in 15 days, abandoned na yan. Hindi na pwedeng i-order na i-release.
The rules is it's already abandoned.
No, as far as the law.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Ay, Mr. Chairman, baka pwedeng kumuha ng, kasi may resource person ako pina-invite. Anyway, tatawid na rin tayo sa TARA issue and corruption. I would just like to manifest for the record na I had Attorney Alcaraz invited kasi 25 years sa customs. And his name was suggested to me by a friend who used to be deputy commissioner long time ago.
Yes.
And I thought that he would be a good resource person pagdating sa procedure,
Okay.
not necessarily on the TARA system, but on procedure that should be followed pertaining to alert orders, LOA, and I think he will be a good resource person along that line. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I will keep that in mind. I just want to say the reason why I was asking the questions of concerning abandoned containers is there any possibility, and I'll ask Attorney Mr. Alcaraz this as well, that there are drugs in those containers na natitira pa?
Well, Mr. Chairman, the only way to find out is to have them open.
That's precisely what I'm saying.
Anything is possible, Mr. Chairman.
That's good. In other words, you are now allowed to open them, whether they're perishable or not. If they're abandoned, they belong to the state, and the state can now open them. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it's now the property of the Republic of the Philippines.
Yes, although there are exceptions.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And I don't want to read the exceptions anymore. There are exceptions beyond the abandonment, right? And it is the collector of customs or deputy collector that can lift it, right?
Yes, Your Honor. It presupposes that the goods have not yet been declared abandoned.
No, it has been declared abandoned, but there are exceptions. Under the preceding sections, the district collector of customs may, at the written request of the importer or consignee, within the period provided, they can extend the time limit for goods declaration for reasons deemed valid, such as if the failure to file entry was due to fraud, accident, mistake, excusable negligence, or force majeure, right?
That is right, Mr. Chairman. What I am saying is once the shipment has been declared abandoned, it's forfeited already in favor of the government, and it can never be released anymore unless the release was due to public auction or something like that.
I must be reading these rules wrong then. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, but we're actually talking about two different things. What the law says is that if a shipment is declared impliedly abandoned, if after 15 days the importer failed to follow up with the release of the shipment through the reasons you have stated, fraud, mistake, or any other reason stated in the law, then the importer, by writing the district collector concerned, can request for the lifting of the abandonment, provided that the shipment has not yet been, in the meantime, finally declared abandoned and forfeited in favor of the government. It has to be within the period.
I'm not going to debate with you, but I just got this now, and I'm trying to discern what you're trying to say, and I don't see the implied abandonment here. Read it. Well, I will let him read it because I just want to be sure I have the law correctly. So, if they are totally abandoned, as you say, would it be correct for the new collector of customs to open up all these abandoned containers and find out whether there are still drugs na hindi nailusot?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it is the duty of the district collector, once furnished with the list of shipments already abandoned, to order the inventory of these abandoned shipments for proper disposition, Mr. Chairman.
And dati nung meron bang tinatawag na command and control, sila ang nakikialam doon. Ganun ba? Mr. Gambala?
No, sir, because it's the disposition of the, it is under the disposition of the port concern, sir, the collector, district collector, sir. They're the ones who should...
But they still have to request your office to open it because sinentralize nyo eh.
No, sir, actually no, sir. They could, because they're the one who issues abandonment proceedings, sir, in the shipment. So they
don't need the one.
Yes,
there's no trick question here.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to trick you into anything.
They can open it anytime, sir.
So they can open it.
Yes, sir.
So thank you and welcome, and thank you for taking the effort. I know that you had another meeting, Commissioner La Peña. Thank you very much. in the light of that information, and I know there's a lot of congestion in customs, there are probably thousands of abandoned. Would you say that? Thousands? Hundreds?
Definitely in that vicinity, Mr. Chairman. Yeah.
And in the interest, therefore, of cleaning up of the customs area so that you would have more legroom or space, would it be wise to open up these boxes before adequate witnesses, appropriate witnesses, to find out whether, in fact, along with the NBI or PIDEA, para malaman baka may drugs pa dyan?
Yes, Your Honor. We will act on those abandoned container vans appropriately.
When you do so, may I send a representative from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee to do so?
Yes, Your Honor.
Properly notified, of course?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, we'd like to do that. We'd like to see firsthand what is happening in your department. Finally, I understand, sir, that you have now raised the benchmark. Do you agree with that policy of benchmarking?
No, Your Honor. We did not. I did not mention of benchmarking when I assumed office, Your Honor. But what I mentioned is correct valuation, Your Honor.
But because I was told that now umaabot na ng 150 per container, hindi na 40.
Yes, Your Honor. From 40, it went to 80, and then it went to 100, it went to 120, and about in that ratio, Your Honor.
120. And that is based on your information now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Not based on any order from you na nagbe-benchmark?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, what I found out, Your Honor, is there is still benchmarking, Your Honor.
Meron pa rin?
Yes, Your Honor. But I'm monitoring this. In fact, as I have emphasized to the collectors that it has to be correct valuation, Your Honor.
If I remember correctly, when you have a benchmark of 120 or 150, you can collect about 680 billion pesos.
That's right, Your Honor, if we go by correct valuation.
438 billion, kung ang benchmark yung 120. Very near your target of 480. If you benchmark it to 170, you will surpass your target.
That's right.
But we're not benchmarking.
Yes, Your Honor.
We just want to have the actual valuation.
Yes, Your Honor. Correct valuation, Your Honor.
I hope you will succeed, and I want you to succeed, and we all want you to succeed.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
Because you get all our support, because nahihirapan kami magtaas ang taxes sa tao kung meron ganyan eh. Kung yung benchmarking 40, lugin-lugin naman ang tao, nasisigilin pa natin ang buwis na malaki dahil hindi natin makuha yung dapat makolekta sa customs.
That's right, Your Honor.
And I'm glad you're imbued with that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, kay Commissioner La Peña, striking a balance between revenue collection and enforcement, yan ang pinaka-ticklish, di ba? Kasi pag hinigpitan mo, and mabuti nandito si Attorney Nage, mga customs, representing the customs brokers. Pag naghigpit sa customs, ang tendency, makiramdam yung mga brokers, hindi na muna magpaparating. Therefore, yung collection, or baka magsabotahe. Maybe I'm not referring to you, maybe I'm referring to the players. No. Kasi hindi naman kayo magsasabotahe dahil kailangan nyo rin talaga, may mga kliyente kayo. But, assuming na talaga mahigpit, and single lang yung standard, wala na yung tara, wala na yung mga padulas sa mga dinadaan ng mga sections and everything. How do you foresee the collection? Based on experience and based on foresight?
Your Honor, based on our experience, we legitimate customs brokers, whether we like it or not, even though the system is strict or not, we are following the law, we are filing an entry based on that. No? However, based on other kind of place in the Bureau of Customs, that's correct, assuming the Bureau will strictly follow the law. Players will not, will not send shipments to the Philippines.
Okay, so eto, kasi may pinakitang datos kanina si Chairman, 4.3 million containers a year, Pilipinas. In other words, divided by 52 weeks, that's 81,346 containers a week, di ba? And 11,600 containers a day. Pag naghigpit pa yung bagong Customs Commissioner, wala nang tara, basta lahat ngayon, valuation, magsasuffer ba yung parating?
Your Honor, marami po kasing parating, maraming kinds of parating. There are so many shipments like those paying duties and taxes or commercial shipments and those not paying duties and taxes. Those paying duties and taxes, most likely, malilimitahan po yun. But again,
Bakit?
Sir, kasi especially yung mga traders, ano po yan parang market forces din po yan. So,
plus minus yan Yung mamemeno sa tara, ibabayad sa buwis. Makakatipid pa nga, hindi ba?
Yes, on that note, sir, that is correct. If there will be no more tara system, the importers will just come in and pay.
Yes.
And meaning to say, mapupunta po lahat yan sa gobyerno. So, mas gaganda po yan.
Ang problema, kung pahirapan kayo sa flow ng papeles, dahil nawala yung tara, gagawa ng paraan yung taga-customs, diyan, scrupulous ones, gagawa ng paraan, pahirapan kayo. So, demurahin nyo, tataas. So, we're looking for solutions here, andito yung customs, andito yung Customs Brokers Association. Maybe we can find a solution na hindi mag-suffer yung collection kasi siyempre yun ang takot ng customs Pero kung wala magsasabotahe within Customs Bureau and bawal na lahat yung mga players, tulad sabi ko nga kanina, they should devise a method by which hindi na makapasok yung mga players kundi mga customs brokers na lang and authorized representatives. Ang tanong ko lang is kung ganun ba kahigpit, paano mababawasan yung importation?
Your Honor, kung ganun po ang sistema, hindi po mababawasan yan. Kung talaga pong wala ng tara system, wala na nanggigipit sa mga importer.
So the ball is in the hands of customs. Kasi kung wala mangiipit doon at tuloy-tuloy yung papeles, hindi magsasuffer ang koleksyon.
Exactly, Your Honor.
So a lot has to do with enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Pa rin, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Sid, your comment?
That's right, Your Honor. In fact, when I had a meeting with the stakeholders, a group association of importers, they said that.
Please clarify. You met with the legitimate importers, not the players,
Yes, Your Honor. They are legitimate. It's the Chinese Filipino Federation. That's one of the first group that I have met, Your Honor, and I will continue meeting them, including the brokers association, the legitimate one. And they said that they don't have a problem with paying the right taxes. What they just want is a facilitated process of the goods that arrive for them. Yun lang naman ang kailangan gawin. So, on our part, of the Bureau of Customs, I have talked with the officers, employees of the Bureau of Customs, that we have to do our part and process the papers that in a facilitated way, because that's what the businessman wants. And if we can deliver that, Your Honor, I think the gentleman, the broker gentleman, I agree with his comment, his observation.
Siguro pwede mong sabihin sa mga customs employees, sa mga staff doon, officials, kumita na naman kayo, baka pwedeng mag-start na tayo from this baseline, wala nang kitaan. Of course, hindi ka kasama doon kasi bagong upo ka pa lang. No? Siguro gano'n na magandang message. Anyway, nakaipon na siguro kayo, and I'm sure you conveyed that message already. No? And I'll be vocal about this. When I talk to customs officials, present and past, especially present, I would advise them to go all out in supporting you because I know that you're well-intentioned. And pangatawanan mo na yan, Sid.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, but when I told them to stop Tara, I mentioned of compensatory measures that can be resorted to. And that one is the incentive reward system. If the Bureau of Customs hits its target, then there is a reward system to that effect. That is 20%.
That's precisely what I was going to ask you for the last question. The attrition law has got to be enforced.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because sinabi sa amin ni Undersecretary Tenco, pagka nakuha niya yung amount na yan, paghahatian is about 1.5 billion ata o 15 billion, whichever is what. That's even for 1.5 billion, malaking amount yan sa mga tao natin. And if they can do it in Singapore, if they can do it in China, they can do it everywhere na walang tara. I don't know, the day must come, and it must be now, where the tara does not exist. But more importantly, I heard the President say last night, there's a speech na sa Public Affairs of sa PAO, Public Attorney's Office. And that's why I've been very, very vehemently passionate here, not passionate, angry. I won't use the word angry, but I have to. Is when you cross the line on drugs, iba na yan. Sabi ng Presidente, hindi ko akalain na pati sa customs, papasukan ng droga. At galit na galit siya kahapon. I hope you heard that speech. Hindi niya akalain na sa Bureau of Customs, gagawin na magpapasok ng droga. So sa mga tiga-customs, pinapaabot ko sa inyo yan. Dahil talagang, kung ano ang puno, ng dulo, yun ang babae. And I'm glad, General La Peña, you're there because kaya ako sinabi yan para ma-encourage kayo. Because maraming tumawag sa akin at sinabi kagad, okay, pagpasok ninyo, tumaas na raw, mali pa yung pagkasabi, tumaas na yung natawag na benchmarking, umabot na ng 120. Tama yung sinabi nyo, una nag-80, ngayon nag-120, kung makuha natin yung 170, I think the country will owe you a great honor and that should be bestowed upon you and your family. And I think people in Customs will again be proud to serve na walang lokohan. To my mind, you really have to get the people in Customs to sign up on this. You are an honorable man, the way I look at you, but I've also been wrong sometimes. I look at honorable men and they turn out sour. I hope this will not be the case. On that note, I don't want to ask any more questions. Pending the arrival of the affidavit of Secretary Aguirre, we're ready to make our report. And I guess it will be a very report based on what we gathered here. A lot of work has been undertaken here. And believe me, it's been very, very difficult for my staff, the Blue Ribbon particularly, and my staff that have worked long hours. And I know the staff of Senator Lacson, staff of some of the senators have been working as well. We are serious here, especially on drugs. And we are also serious that we need the collection to go up. So we appeal to you to do your work, gawin niyo po lahat yan, at para sa ganon, magkaroon na may balik ang tiwala, at mas importante, sabi nga, kahit na sana ko magbasa, pinabasa ko si Hamilton ngayon, na siyang naging Secretary of Finance, the first one. Ang kanyang panukala, palagi, ay ang customs maayos. Kailangan, meron tayong customs na naglalaban-laban ng mga states ng araw. Maitaas ang customs para makagawa tayo ng Army at ng Navy para ang Amerika hindi malulusob ng sinuman, para magkaroon ng tapat na hustisya ang bansa natin at edukasyon. Sabi ni Hamilton, kailangan yan. And I just repeat that here. That was in the 1780s when they did that, when he became the first Secretary of Finance. And he was also in charge of customs. So it's my hope that by citing that, everybody will be on the same page on this matter. Especially the brokers. Kayo ang nagpapacilitate ng kalokohan dyan. Hindi naman lahat, pero yung mga fixer, I hope, tamaan yung mga fixer, yung mga player. Dapat ilagay nyo yung mga litrato ng mga fixer dati. Doon, at dapat, I suggested earlier, sa lahat ng pasukan, kahit saan, dapat lalakad ang papel na walang natutulak. Dapat may tiga-receive kung may complaint. Pero hindi kakausapin yung assessor, hindi kakausapin yung sino man. Para sa ganun, lalakad ang papel ng maayos. At pala yung kikita naman lahat lalo na doon sa attrition law. So, pakiiral nyo rin po yung attrition law. Dapat maraming tanggalin sa customs kung hindi nagawa yan. At dapat magkaroon tayo siguro ng bagong eskulahan ng customs para yung kultura, katulad din ng police, yung kultura ng enforcement of law firmly and fairly ay mangyari para may pampalit kayo, para hindi naman overconfident yung mga customs dyan na hindi sila mapapalitan dahil mahirap makakuha ng pampalit. Siguro yung paikot-ikot rin dapat magawa. Sinabi rin ito ng ambassador ng China. Pag-alalan nyo na pag-alis doon, dapat merong pre-departure inspection. Para bago dumating dito, alam na natin kung anong darating. Sinabi rin ni Senator Jolin yan, sinasabi din namin. Sinabi rin namin, I think Senator Lacson, I think also made mention of that, and some other senators. We are behind you, and hopefully, we can finally find our way clear into having a good system here. So, with the permission of Senator Lacson, we will cross over to our next investigation on the privilege speech of Senator Lacson, and we will do it with the same zeal. And we will not, I will close the meeting on the drugs, but will not abandon our pursuit of the resolution of the cases filed with respect to drugs. I want to be clear on that. To the representatives of the Secretary of Justice, PDEA, and Customs, and NBI, we will continue to pursue that even if we terminate this case. With the help of the other senators, we want to make sure that we win in the case against drugs. And we will not hesitate to drop the hammer on anyone, at least as far as the Blue Ribbon is concerned. We will write the Ombudsman, we will write the Supreme Court, and we will make sure that copies of this investigation are given them. And you can be assured that we will communicate with other countries when we feel that the executive is not doing their job well. And of course, we have the power that Senator Lacson used the other day. We have the power of the forum of the Senate to unmask those who are corrupt and to reveal those who are doing wrong so that justice may fall, as they say, even if the heavens fall. Thank you all very much, and we shall have our next hearing on September 25, and tomorrow we will have our report stated. Senator Bam has made a reservation to ask for a few questions. So, if you don't mind, Mr. Senator Lacson, I will suspend muna. Senator Bam has requested to ask questions.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, but by your leave, I have to preside over a hearing at 1 o'clock. So
I was going to ask you to preside so that I can ask questions in the other hearing. You know, this is budget time. Kung nagtataka yung ibang mga nanonood, ba't ko konti, Senador, busy ulat kami for the last month and a half because of the budget. Daming tuwa natin dito, nagtatanong ko kami lahat dito, kaya hirap na hirap kami. Ang dami-dami namin iniimbestigan, dami-dami pa namin ginagawa sa budget. Your Senate does not sleep. A lot of our people are working. The Finance Committee Chairperson, Senator Lugarda, hirap na rin, and all the others, all of us, chair commissions on that. So nagtatrabaho po ang inyong Senado. Senator, Mr. La Peña, did you have any other questions to add?
Yes, Your Honor. May I just make mention, Your Honor, of another compensatory measure that I will be recommending very soon. It's the exception of the Bureau of Customs from the salary standardization law, for us to be able to increase a little bit.
You know, sir, ang exception nyo yung attrition law. Pairalin nyo muna yung attrition law, and I promise you, I'm sure I can speak for Senator Lacson. We will fight for
Mr.
that.
Chairman, I was talking with former Commissioner Morales. At what point, alam mo, Sid, nakuha nila 800 million pesos.
Yes, Your Honor.
Doon sa attrition law, yung sa incentives. Pag masipag din kayo, para na rin kayo na-exempt sa salary standardization.
Doon nyo lang po padaanin.
Huwag na sa TARA. Doon na lang sa attrition. Ang laki rin na makukuha nyo, I assure you.
Pinaghirapan po namin yung attrition law doon sa previous session, previous Congress. Kaya pagpilitan po ninyo yan. At you can do that kung di nyo titigilan araw-araw ang pagbabantay. Sapagkat kailangan talaga bantayan eh.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
But you have our support for so long as you're doing the job. I will suspend it in behalf of Senator Lacson and Senator Aquino. In the meantime, I think you already had lunch. I have not had my lunch, so but I will go first to the hearing so I can go back. Will the ComSec please call me the moment Senator Aquino is here, and I will temporarily suspend. The next hearing is on September 25th. At what time? At 9 o'clock in the morning. September 25th. Okay. Senator Aquino is here, and I will turn over the gavel to him. He will be adequate. One day, I hope you can be the Blue Ribbon Committee chairman as well. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be a lawyer. So, I did not suspend it. In the meantime, Senator Aquino will continue on. I will check a few questions. 10 minutes.
I'm a member of the committee.
Just authorize him to
Yes, I'll suspend after. There's a very few questions.
I can authorize it, then you can suspend it for the
Okay.
I will thank you all. I have to go to the SBMA and the other government corporations hearings. I will turn over to a very adequate senator, and he can suspend it
Pending the next hearing.
pending the next hearing. So ordered.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. I have very few questions. This is just a loose end from the previous hearing. Si Mr. Bartes here. Gusto ko lang hong tanungin. Narinig niyo po yung pangalan ninyo sa nakaraang hearing?
Opo.
Opo.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Alright. Yung konteksto nung nakaraang hearing is we had asked Attorney Anderson, who was the Chief of Staff of Commissioner Faildon, kung meron po dun sa 5 grupo na binanggit ni Senator Lacson na nakikiusap sa kanila. Yung 5 grupo pong yon, meron yung Bangayan Group, meron po yung Gamboa Group, meron daw grupo na Santos, at may grupo na Davao Group, no? Ang nasabi po ni Mandy, ni Attorney Anderson, is 2 daw po dun sa 5 ang nagpakilala sa kanya. Yung isa daw po, yung Gamboa Group, si Kimberly Gamboa daw mismo yung nagpakilala sa kanya at may pinakikiusapan. Yung pangalawa daw po ay yung Davao Group. So tinanong ko, sino po doon? Sabi, meron daw BOC official na nagpakilala sa kanya bilang miyembro o representante ng Davao Group at kayo daw po yon. So gusto ko lang po, para lang kung may chance rin po kayong sumagot, ano po ba yung nangyari sa conversation po ninyo ni Attorney Anderson?
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Ganito po kasi, Mr. Chair, nung pag-assume po ng office ni former Commissioner Faildon, actually I belong to the BOC pool of lecturers. Nagle-lecture po ako, sir, Mr. Chair, sa valuation. Yun po ang forte ko. So, nai-hit po yung target ng port kung saan man ako napupunta dahil yun po yung specialization ko, assessment. So, nung nasama po ako sa Committee on Revenue Enhancement, nagpunta po ako kay COM para tanungin kung ano po ang magiging role ng committee or as a member anong gagawin. And wala po si COM, so I chance upon kay Attorney Mandy po. And during that time din po, sinabihan na rin ako na dahil nag-resign na po yung mga previous commissioners po, Honorable Senator, ako na po yung mag-chairman ng implementing rules, IRR ng alert orders. So, during the conversation po, nabanggit yun na maraming alert orders, maraming negative, so nadidelay yung pag-assign pa lang sa assignment pa lang po sa ICTSI, ATI, inaabot daw po ng ilang araw. So, ito rin po yung reason sa CMTA na napakahigpit, dapat bilisan talaga yung napag-aralan na namin. So, in short po, Mr. Chair, nagkaroon na siguro na miscommunication dun sa inisip niya po kasi yung pagsabi ko, Attorney Mans, meron kasing anonymous text. May mga text po kasi, Mr. Senator, regarding sa mga shipments na negative naman, allegedly laden with rice and sugar, tapos turn out to be negative, tapos nagbabayad ng demurahe po. So yun po yung sabi niya, yun, sinabi niya na po, I don't care, and busy po siya. So pagsabi po, umalis din po ako.
Bakit ho niya binanggit na ikaw yung representante ng Davao Group? Medyo, kasi yun ho yung binanggit ho niya in the last hearing. So meron kayong natanggap na text message? Yan ho sinasabi ho ninyo?
Marami po kasi sa Bureau, Mr. Chair, mga anonymous text messages na ito po ay na-alert, namimera lang po, iwasan tong mga tao na to. May mga ganyan po, Mr. Chair. And then, meron pong kaukulang epekto po sa pag-hit ng target. Ito po yung nagiging problema. Katulad nga po binanggit nila Senator Lacson po na maaari pong magkaroon ng negative effect. Yung mga investors, ganito rin po kasi, Mr. Chair, yung kung mamarapatin nyo po, ma-explain ko rin yung side sa BOC. It's actually, it takes two to tango. Meaning po, yung mga tao na bumibili, kahit ilagyan mo ng smuggled or hindi nagbayad ng tamang buwis, yung itong supermarket na to at ito nagbayad, ang tendency is doon sila bumibili sa kahit na smuggled, no matter ano po yung procedure. So nangyayari po, from the importer, yung gustong supplier, going to the logistics, yung importer, yung logistics provider, ipinapabid pa po sa mga brokers. So thinking, yung mga brokers din po, akala nila okay lang na ibid because the freight is fixed. Ang nangyayari po, yung duties and taxes, yun ang binababa. So may tendency na i-falsify mo yung invoice. Pagdating sa subcontractor, papunta po sa player, mababa na. So that explains the reason. That explains the case. Ito pong sinasabing malayo masyado, 1,000 ang value, ginawa pong 100. Yung duties po na nawala, hindi naman po ninakaw lahat. But napunta po sa murang bilihin. So hanggat may bumibili po sa mga stores na mura, parang kinokondone din po natin yung smuggling po. Kaya nahihirapan
ibang issue na yan na Mr. Barton. Ang sinasabi mo is dahil sa smuggling, may epekto yan sa merkado at positibo sa consumer. No? Pero ibang issue na yan eh.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ang tanong ko, simple lang. No? So merong 60 containers na itigil. According to a news report, yung nakalagay household apparel. Actually, this is the report of Captain Gambala also. Ang totoo ay cosmetics tsaka apparel na iba po yung duties. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, wala po ako sa details nung
alert. Let me ask Captain Gambala, who I requested to research this. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. When the containers were opened, there's some different from what was declared.
Okay. Iba yung naka-declare, tinigil siya, pero eventually, nilabas rin siya.
Yes, sir.
In fact, dito sa memo mo dito, tinigil siya ng August 2, pero nung September 20, after another examination, no discrepancy na siya.
Yes, sir.
So ano nangyari? Nagpalit yung laman nung container?
Actually, sir, in my investigation, sir, I think there was a derogatory information about that shipment that it contained an agricultural product, specifically I think rice.
Okay.
So that's why it was alerted, sir.
Okay. So naitigil siya dahil akala bigas.
Yes, sir. When they opened it, they saw household items, sir.
So hindi nga siya agricultural. So mali yung report na cosmetics and apparel yung laman. It really was household items.
Yes, sir. I think so, sir.
You think so? You're sure? Because ang nakalagay sa news reports, nakalagay daw doon household items. Ang sinasabi ninyo, akala nyo bigas.
That's what
Pagka-check ninyo, household items ba talaga o cosmetics and apparel?
What I learned is the information was there was a derogatory information, sir, na rice, yes, sir. Kaya siya in-alert. That was the reason it was alerted, sir.
It was alerted tapos chinek?
Yes, sir, in-open. And they found out yung mga household items, sir.
So household items talaga.
Yes,
so yung initial report ng balita na sinabi pa ni Captain Fildon meron pa siyang papatayin daw niya yung mga, basta may ganun pa siyang statement, papatayin niya yung mga nag-iiba ng mga invoice o kung ano man. You're saying it was correct. Wala hong problema yung container na yon. Right now, yan po yung sinasabi po ninyo.
I wasn't able to find out, sir, kung ano yung examination report, sir, nung mga...
Okay, can we find the examination report?
Yes,
because
sir, yes,
the news clippings at yung sinasabi nyo ngayon, magkaiba, no?
Yes,
and
sir,
we can ask the reporter to come in the next hearing to validate kung totoo nga yung kung yung report nga niya ay totoo o hindi. So if you can kindly provide the examination report as well.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Mr. Barte, habang nangyayari ito, sabi ho ni Attorney Anderson, wala siya dito, but we expect her to be here in the next hearing. Pumunta ka daw sa kanya at ang sabi nyo, containers ito ng Davao Group, quote-unquote. Sinabi nyo po ba ito?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Alright. May pinakita ka bang mga text message sa kanya?
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
So wala kang pinakitang text sa kanya?
Wala po, Mr. Chair. Actually, ang sabi ko po sa kanya, Mr. Chair, ang tawag ko po kasi sa kanya kasi early days pa is Attorney Mans. Sabi ko, Attorney Mans, may mga text messages. So I was referring to Attorney Mans sa kanya. So sabi niya, nalito siya, na-confuse siya dun sa sinabi ko. Kasi sinabi ko rin, sir, na ang point ko lang sabihin is, under sa lateral attrition law, solely liable yung negligent na tao. So sa CMTA ngayon, sir, sa alert orders, dapat may pag-aralan talaga, hindi lang basta-basta galing sa text, galing sa ano. Kailangan merong pag-aaral na gawin bago i-alert. Kasi po, ang laki-laki ng binabayaran na demoraya.
No, I understand that, Mr. Barte.
Ayan,
Pero
Mr.
simple
Chair.
lang naman yung tanong Kung meron ba dun sa mga players ang totoong nakikiusap kay Commissioner Fildon at kay Attorney Anderson? Yun lang naman talaga yung tanong. At nabanggit ka, no? Now, unfortunately, wala si Attorney Anderson dito. Magandang magharap siguro kayo sa susunod na hearing. Nung nandito siya nung nakarang hearing at marami pong nandito noon, she was very adamant na ang pakiusap ko sa kanya iba. So to be fair, hintayin na lang natin siyang magharap kayo para makapag-usap rin tayong lahat ng sabay-sabayan. Now, are you connected in any way to the so-called Davao Group? Yung kay Nani, kay Jack, kay anuman, are you connected in any way sa kanila?
Wala po akong nakikilala sa kanila yun.
Just to be fair, Mark, ano ba itong si Mr. Barte?
No, Your Honor.
Alright, sige. Just to be fair lang to everybody. So, if kung mamarapatin natin siguro, hintayin na lang ho natin si Attorney Anderson. I'm still hoping Commissioner Fildon will grace us with his presence. Kasi yung karamihan po ng mga nabanggit dito, palagay ko siya rin po siguro yung pwedeng magtestigo. No? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to suspend this hearing. And all resource persons present today in this hearing are invited to attend the next scheduled hearing. This will be on September 25 at 9 a.m. The hearing is suspended.